Boo! What's up, everybody? Not boo isn't boo the show. The show's great. Yay!
Fuck y'all.
Wait, but why? Why fuck them? Or fuck us?
Well, no, as I was saying, like, you're a boo people. Like, yeah, fuck y'all.
Anyways, guys, we're back. I just drank some water, as you guys can tell. I'm smoking that fucking thing. But I'm not gonna fuck up that fast when I return. What's up, everybody? Leto'S pre-show here. What Up Son is gonna be looking a little bit different today because Corey is moving. You know, entering the room in this house might look like shit, but we'll see how that's gonna go. But we are here. I am glad. Platinum Waves and the return, yes, the return indeed. What's up, people? I'm so glad to see you guys once again. It's been a while, been a long time. But yeah, I'm gonna look around. I heard like a ding go on in this call. Let me see if something happened here. Did someone try to get in, Alan, or no?
Yeah, someone actually just get in. You should probably acknowledge her before you acknowledge me.
Wait, who is that? Jack? She was here earlier.
Yeah, she popped back in.
Oh, that's what happened. Something messed up. So, anyways, Jeb, what's up? How you doing? See?
Yeah.
It messes up sometimes. See?
Yeah.
Things mess up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. But the thing is, though, as I was gone, it was all Jet's fault because I was spending a wonderful time over there at her house. I'm not going to get all romantic here. It was fun. We were playing games. We were eating popping corn. We walked by a bunch of... It's popping corn.
Literally nobody outside of YouTube says it.
Yeah, well, we're starting a new thing. You know, everyone's gonna be doing what we're doing. Okay, popping corn is definitely the more superior way of saying that particular phrase. Edward School is saying, "Welcome back." Hey there, welcome back to you, sir, and thank you for actually showing up very, very early, like you always do. I fucking love that. And even though you kind of misspelled it the first time, it doesn't matter, man. I know exactly what you're saying because you know I'm like this with you, man. I'm like this, bro. People, let me know if you guys don't like the red on the names. I'll just refresh the chat because I gotta tell you, me looking at it, I don't.
It's
like the
fucking terrible. Let's refresh it now.
Yeah, let's refresh it. Yeah. Sorry. So, guys, I mean, I'll make sure to read back what you guys were saying, but keep talking in the chat. I'm just gonna reload this fucking thing, and hopefully we're back to normal. I was like saying, missed you, Nick and Alan, Manly Alan. Mainly Alan.
Hi.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't calling you manly because
I'm pretty manly.
You're not manly at all. I'm way more manly.
I
Actually,
can pick you up.
Jet, who's more manly, me or Alan?
I mean, you're both pretty much the same.
Why?
Notice how she didn't say a level on that, so either we're both pretty manly or we're both not manly at all.
No, and it was fucking ridiculous too. Is like she's a person who, like, if you really want a really honest opinion, she'll go off on you and like make fun of you and say everything that you don't want to like be honest about. But in the show, she's like, "Oh, you know, it's even." You know, there's a difference.
You really want her to emasculate either one of us on the show right now?
Yes. Yes.
You just want her to emasculate me, so go fuck yourself.
And why are you assuming that? Because you know that I am.
Because it's you.
Yeah, I'm manly.
You just want to make me look bad at any possible opportunity at all fucking times.
By the way, you know you realize you said something mean about me first.
Did I?
Yes, you just said that I thought that about you. That's a mean thing. You were assuming the worst of me. I wasn't assuming anything bad about you. I thought she was gonna say that you were more manly than me, and I was pretty upset.
Oh, you're
a
fucking liar.
I like to be less manly. It's actually cool not to be manly nowadays. Like the whole toxic masculinity thing. I don't want to be toxic. I don't want people to be like
literally are like the walking definition of that.
I fucking chat. Let me know what you guys think.
I want to point this out. I want to point this out before this poll begins. I watched Totally Spies as a kid.
Okay, and I accidentally dressed up as Harriet the Spy because I thought there wasn't like a whole gender, like, ooh, you dressing a girl, fucking asshole. By the way, I just gotta tell you, Harriet the Spy still to this day has one of the best fucking costumes. I love Harriet the Spy. So, fuck you.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but why do you have to say that, though?
Because it's you, and you told me that story, and you got sad, you got made fun of.
Yeah, because I got to say, people, so I don't know if you guys remember this, but Harriet the Spy was a very, very great Disney movie back in the day. I love this fucking thing. Jet, I know I've asked you this before, but I probably forgot what your answer was, so that's why I'm asking you again. Do you remember Harriet the Spy, and what do you think about her getup?
I have never once in my life watched Harriet the Spy, and I never even heard of her until you brought it up.
Apparently Mauricio is not on your side because he thinks that the movie's terrible.
Oh, they're saying Nickelodeon. Oh, I'm sorry. Man, you know what?
Get your random, like, pedophilic shows right, okay?
Pedophilic?
Nickelodeon is pretty bad on that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that one was included in those Dan Snyder.
I don't know what was, man, because I've seen some shit the last couple days, man.
Look, you know, and I'm gonna actually just shut my face because I was gonna be like, Chad, what the fuck? You guys are stupid. Always thinking.
Who's a bigger man? Who the fuck made that poll? And why am I losing? Why am I winning?
Oh wait, I didn't know there was a poll going.
Why
on.
am I not? Why am I not on this poll?
Like, are we talking about like in general, in height, in weight?
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could fucking share this on screen. Why is that always a
Wow.
problem with this?
I don't know, but that's chat. This is wow. This is like really contested right now because it just went back to 50-50. When you shot up and then I was like trailing behind, but now I'm winning.
Dude.
This is great.
Oh
I don't know
my
what the fuck's going on. It's like watching the presidential elections in Texas.
Wait, would you just say?
It's like watching the presidential elections in Texas. I have no idea which one of us is gonna win.
Oh,
But y'all are
Yeah,
wasting those channel points.
Yeah, someone's using their fucking points like crazy.
I think a lot of people.
it's not me. I don't know how to work.
You know
this
what?
fucking
Yeah,
thing.
fuck democracy.
Let me see. I'm trying
Vote
to
for
pull this
me.
shit up.
Vote for me. If everyone that votes for me, I will do a 30-second review on anything that you guys want.
You still didn't watch Aladdin, so you're a liar.
I haven't had time for that. I've sung a whole
What
new
do you
world.
mean? What do you mean you haven't had time for it?
Whoa! I said 30-second
You
review
just
for
finished
anything.
You just finished like 12 different shows in the past
Yeah,
week.
I like those shows. I sung a whole new world. That's way more embarrassing.
So here's the thing, people. I try my best to find a way to show.
How
this
far?
fucking thing.
So
There.
far, I'm winning. Oh no! Wait,
Winning,
this is
huh?
really
okay.
contested.
Well, I voted for Nick because I think he's great.
I didn't vote.
Yeah, I'm full of fucking shit.
I can
Bullshit.
screenshot my fucking screen and send it to you.
All right, whatever, man. Look, but 300 on me, 307. Oh my god, I'm fucking amazing. Look at that shit, big old.
I will
fucking
do
heart
a
penis.
review. Okay, I just shot up to 325. I will do a 30-second
Why are you
review
trying to
on
lobby
anything the
it?
chat wants.
Why are you trying to lobby it?
I'm not I literally haven't voted.
No, I know, but you're trying to tell him like, hey, make sure to fucking vote for this.
You
Whatever.
can say whatever the fuck you want to.
JJ Panda says I got 8K channel points. Thank you very much for watching this enough to get them
I
many
can
fucking
do
points.
this all day. I will review Captain America: Civil War. It's my favorite MCU movie.
Dude, I am seriously, I'm scared. You
Oh
motherfuckers!
shit! By like 10 points.
You motherfuckers!
Thank you, JJ Panda. As the person that put the most points in there, if there's anything you want me to review, I will review it immediately. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as I've seen it. Don't
Wait
have
a
to
minute,
research
that's
it.
okay. Well, you shouldn't be adding stuff on when you still haven't watched Aladdin.
That's true. You haven't watched that, or
I may review it like right now, like something that I've probably seen beforehand, or just throw it out. Like I don't mean I'm gonna watch something later. I mean I could if you really want to.
I mean, JJ could literally say, "Oh, you gotta watch all of Amazing Bulk," and then you'll put it way at the bottom of your list.
Wait, wait, I'm so confused. Why does it say that JJ voted for Nick? I thought you voted for me. I thought you were on my
Well,
side.
he could. Damn, I burped.
I mean, he still got the most points.
He
You
contributed.
know what?
Well,
Austin
basically,
Nick's on my side. Austin and Black Knight, they both voted for me. So yay.
You motherfuckers! I don't like y'all. The thing is, though, is no, I really appreciate you guys participating in the fucking poll, whether or not how great the fucking is. Stop the count.
Literally
Stop
your
the count.
idea, to the extent where you came up with this idea, you told me exactly what would happen.
Yeah, and I guess I was fucking wrong. I feel stupid because what I was gonna say is like, oh, I'm gonna vote a bunch of. No.
I didn't vote at all because I'm like, I know a situation where I was the Wolves because you have like 85,000 points. Like I didn't vote a goddamn thing.
But Gene, thank you for that beautiful welcome back. No, thank you very much, man. Guppy Kill saying Alan for the win. Fuck Alan. Man, see, Guppy, you got bad taste. You got bad
Now
taste.
I'm gonna get me fired, like live on show.
I'm literally gonna get so jealous I will get rid of him and then ruin the show.
He would. Don't think he won't.
I'm pretty petty. I'm a fucking asshole.
Pretty? The only
I'm
person
beautiful.
pettier than you is Ganja.
That's true. Ganja, no, and Roxy too. God damn, there's a lot of motherfuckers. Thank you, JP.
All of us are petty here.
JP says Nick 2021. Yes, I will be the president or whatever. I don't know.
Bullshit.
Is it better to not vote or vote for the least bad guy? Exactly, right? Like, then again,
You
that's
don't know
our
who
entire,
that means, so.
That was the last entire election, by the way, like for real. So I don't know, dude. Fucking like people were celebrating, yay, Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden. It was wonderful.
Go blue no matter who.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid ass
Colin,
shit.
4780. What's up, man? How you doing over there, buddy? I can see. I don't know if you're on Twitch or on YouTube, but the thing is, though, man, wherever you are, thank you for actually coming over here and hanging out.
He's
in
on
chat.
Twitch.
Yeah, dude, if you can, Colin, make sure to leave us a follow, not for the sake of analytics, even though you know I'm fucking loving that shit, but just so you're able to kind of come over here as soon as we start for the pre-show and you have something to do while Corey preps. Because here's the thing, guys. The prep today is not just the content for the show. He's prepping an entire room. If you guys don't know, I think tonight or tomorrow is the last day he's allowed to do the studio stuff. So if you guys are used to the Double Toasted Studio, it's going to be all gone this week. So really appreciate these moments. One thing too, though, about this whole Double Toast Studio thing is that he is going to be doing everything at the house now. So, granted, you guys will not be able to go over there, but every show will have a certain look to it, and it'll feel like he's at the studio every single day. So, as much as I'm saying these are going to be changing, it's actually not like changing too much. And Marissa, no, that was last Sunday service for that studio, but he might do the show at the studio today. So, yeah. I mean, that's what he told me on the phone. I don't know. I don't know what he said on the show, but you know how Corey is. Be saying shit wrong. I'm sorry, Corey, for watching, but good God, dude. You say a lot of things fucking incorrect. Gene says, Corey should set the studio on fire and film it as you close the door. You are kidding.
I'm
Yes.
95% sure that's arson.
Mm-hmm. What's that last 5%, though, dude?
You could just claim it's a gas leak.
Oh, yeah, that's true, right? Insurance fraud. I love those things.
I'm not saying you should, because there's only a 5% chance you might get away with it.
So Gene says, not joking, he really should do that. No, I was playing.
Gene, you've got stuff you've dealt with Corey and got him in trouble. I don't recommend giving him any advice.
Yeah, no, that one time when you put that picture of the dude thing. Gene, I gotta tell you, dude, Gene, everyone was getting on your ass about that, but I thought that was fucking funny, and, you know, bravo to you, good sir. You know,
I saw that. I'm like, so Nick, are you fired?
No.
Like, do you lose your job?
No, like, that's the thing. Twitch is pretty forgiving. And plus, Gene, you know, he wasn't trying to be an asshole. Like, to be honest, you had to really pay attention to see that dick in that fucking thing. I'm like, you know, look at all the Spider-Man stuff around him and everything. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool picture. Wait, is his dick out?
Wait, sorry. I didn't even know there was another vote going on. Apparently, Jet is the pettiest one here out of everyone there. Apparently, I got vote. Nick didn't get a single vote. Who voted in this fucking thing?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not
I mean,
really...
technically, I can be petty, but I mean that. I mean,
you are ridiculously petty. Like, let's be real here. Like, I don't disagree with that. I'm surprised no one voted.
Listen,
like,
there was one time someone fucked with me in high school, and they may or may not be alive right now. Let's think about that.
Oh,
God
yeah.
damn.
Jet has a body count, man.
That's fucking unfortunate. Gene saying, happy belated birthday to good old Jet. Yes, happy birthday, Jet. Should we do the song for you right now?
No.
I mean, you can, but you'll be at that body count.
All right. That started pretty quickly.
What better way to celebrate your birthday than to talk about topics?
Exactly. That was a good segue, sir.
It really was.
So, you know, it's pretty good. Because I do really horrible ones. So that was just a freshy fucking change from my kind of pace. But the thing is, though, man, I do want to talk about topics because one of these topics is something that I give quite a bit to fuck about. That good old Mortal Kombat, man. Did you see that trailer? Actually, right there, you just did a better trailer. I'm sorry. Like, how the fuck did they not have the original song in this fucking thing?
Look, man. I love that music too. It lived in my alarm for like 2 years. But it's been 20 fucking years. We can move on from it, man.
Well, here's the thing. We're gonna see if we can still pull off the excitement that we felt when you first watched this. I might have to pause this a couple times so I get in trouble by YouTube. But we're gonna watch this fucking trailer together as a family. So you guys chilling here with us.
Not Nick, mostly.
You're an asshole. Let's see. You're gonna be wrong, Alan. You're gonna be wrong, Alan.
First learned about this 70s.
I'm pretty sure you could also play the Frozen music right now and it'd be the same fucking trailer.
Yeah.
When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds.
Okay, so this right here. Oh wait,
that was kind of cool.
Right, that right there. I was like, oh shit, we fucking made it, bro. There's gonna be some badass shit. We got the blood thing, but here's the issue that I have with this. Why are we giving this away so fucking fast with the goddamn kind of?
I think okay, you gotta understand is whenever you do an adaptation of anything, comic book, whatever the fuck, you have to understand two things. One, there are people that grew up with this. There are people that love it. There are people that basically know every single thing that's going on. So you have to speed it up for them. On the other hand, there are people that are so fucking new to this, they have no idea what the fuck's going on. So, but they can't sit there and spend the movie catering to both the whole time, or it's gonna be a colossal mess. They're speeding up characters because Jax he's a fan favorite, but he's not what sells the games. He's just someone that's in the game. So we're gonna speed up his development while focusing on the money makers, which is Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like this could have been something that could have been saved for the movie, but we'll continue on. But right here, I mean, seeing the gore, I was like, dude, that's badass.
The target had superhuman abilities.
And that's how Ice would fucking fuck you up, so.
Yeah.
It had the same marking you do, Cole.
Okay, so silly.
Oh man, my favorite line of dialogue in this entire trailer is about to come up.
Oh wait, really? I'm curious. Let's see.
You just wait till it plays, man. It's so bad.
What do you mean?
Wait.
He was born with it.
Hey, Nick, do you know what a birthmark is? Hey, Nick,
Wait,
do you know what a
was he born
birthmark
with it?
is? He's born with it. Who wrote
Wait,
this?
is that why it's called a birthmark?
I bursted out laughing. I was like, "That's a birthmark. You're born with it."
Okay,
Fake.
but really quick though, you know what's funny about this is like I'm also thinking too. It goes back to kind of like that Godzilla trailer where like they say obvious shit and like that fucking lizard is just going through everything, beating up these boats. Everyone already knows what this is, and she's like, "It's Godzilla." Like, no shit. Is it Godzilla?
Yeah, no,
Are you
like,
sure?
that's something where it's like it's Godzilla. People might not know what it's called, sure. But a birthmark is a pretty. No, it's like saying like he has a scar. Oh, he had it with an accident. Yeah, that's how scars get formed. Like it's a birthmark. He got it from his birth. It's a mark at birth. Like what? Why not? A tattoo's not a birthmark.
Throughout history,
Yeah,
different
that's true.
cultures all over the world reference a great tournament of champions. That dragon marking?
I think it's an invitation to fight for something.
Smash
known.
Bros. Yeah, that's a pretty good choreography. Not gonna lie.
Badass. Here's the thing though. For me,
What?
does that not look like Mortal Kombat Legacy?
What is Legacy the web series?
Yeah, the Machinima, whatever.
Yeah, honestly, that first season was fantastic. And as far as it looking like it, it's like, well, no, it was a pretty well choreographed fight scene. Like I
Because
can't
here's
wait
the
to see
thing.
more.
Because I know Jet didn't watch Legacy. Jet, do you feel like right here it looks a little like indie? Like this looks like some kind of YouTube video shit right here?
To me, not really.
Really, I'm
I
surprised.
think at the end of the day, it's low budget. Like, let's be real. It's low budget. It's probably $50 million, I guess, for this movie. But in all honesty, it's like, I watch CW shows. You don't fucking need a high budget to do cool fight scenes. Like, they're putting the budget where it needs to be. They're doing the gore on screen where it needs to be. They're focusing on the action. You don't want $200 million for Mortal Kombat because it means that they're going to have to sit there and be like, well, we can't have it, rated R, or we have to sit there and focus on certain things to get that millions of dollars back. This is low budget enough that it being on a streaming service means it will be successful almost no matter what. Short of this being the worst movie ever made, it's going to get a sequel.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. We'll continue this on. Love this shit. Boom, fucking him up.
Combat.
And they explain exactly what his spear is too here as well. It's a
Yeah.
guardian
These are your
sword.
champions.
I'm Sonya.
That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Hey, I like how they managed to make they got the most boring man in the world to be Liu Kang.
Yeah, right? Like,
I'm Liu
and
Kang.
even this, like right there, that looks kind of like, I feel
That
like
looks that's a really good shot. I'm glad you paused there. Because that's Raiden. That's like Raiden in a nutshell. Sure, he doesn't have the strap to keep there, it's not visible, but that to me is like if you just show that to someone, oh yeah, that's Raiden, right? Like a Mortal Kombat fan would see that as Raiden no matter what, because glowing eyes, hat, that's a really good hat, it's a really good prop. But yeah, I'm glad they got the most boring man in the world to be like, I'm Liu Kang. Good, that's perfect, because Liu Kang's a fucking loser. In a world in which you have guys with metal arms, like spikes that are made out of snakes and shit, and dudes that can freeze people or spit acid, I am a boring monk. Like, yes, you nailed it.
Jojo Cat, what's up, buddy? So we're actually watching the Mortal Kombat trailer, kind of like every 20 seconds, trying to make sure we're not getting in trouble over here.
How
But
are you getting away with this?
I'm probably not. But you know what, though? YouTube doesn't do that well anyway, so fuck them. But anyways, we're going to continue on. Oh, that's wrong.
No matter how many of
CGI.
my people you put in the
Sunsets.
ground,
Oh, Melina looks
By
so
the way,
badass.
they really wanted Tessa Thompson. You could tell they wanted Tessa Thompson for Melina, but they couldn't get it for some reason.
Yeah. Now this right here, I feel like that was a much better decision to turn this into a flame dragon instead of him turning into an actual dragon like Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
They're
because-
not going to pull Annihilation. Somebody's like, so what's the dragon gonna look like? Should we make it look like Annihilation? You're fired.
Yeah. Should we turn him in? Should we have him do an animality, whatever the fuck it was called again? Like,
Well, I think what it is because a lot of the MK like 9, 10, like they updated the one of the fatalities to look like that. So and fire is pretty easy to do with CG. And thanks for the follow. I missed the name.
Trig Gates. Yeah, thank you very much, buddy. I really appreciate that, man. But yeah, no, the CGI I think looks pretty cool here. But what were you gonna say though?
I was gonna say that they probably realized like, hey, we're gonna stick it close to the fatality that the character's known for. Fire is really easy to do with CG. Like almost most explosions nowadays are CG because they're able to kind of get away with it. And something fire like that specific, that's great. Like that's fantastic. And it's like, yeah, you're spending the budget where you need to be. Not everything's gonna look like a fucking Marvel movie, but it's like, hey, where does it count and where does it matter? Jack's arms looks fucking cool. That fatality looks fucking cool, and the fights look cool. Like you're getting everything you need. Like, to me, I have, as much as some of the dialogue is cringy as fuck, but let's be real, it's fucking Mortal Kombat. Like, this is an Oscar award-winning writing even in the games. But, like, you're putting the effort in the visuals of where it counts, because you just show that to a Mortal Kombat fan, that's Mortal Kombat. That I know exactly what it is. As Liu Kang, that's a fatality. And I don't even like that character, and I know what that is.
Yeah, by the way, too, I saw the shout out. I don't know who gave or who emailed Corey about that, but whoever it was, thank you very much. I feel like it was Blasian, but either way, man, seriously, guys, thank you so much for even emailing Corey, just, complimenting us, and I really appreciate the shout out that we got on the show last week. It was pretty fucking cool. And also, Tree Gates, it's Peter Parker. We met him in New York.
Oh, wait, Parker, yeah, I haven't seen you in forever, man.
Yeah, dude, like, it's so cool to see you again in the chat and everything, too, but, dude, we gotta see each other again in real life, man. As soon as this COVID thing's done, I know Corey wants to do New York again, and then if you go over there, man, please show up. But goddamn, I have not even heard his. I mean, I miss his voice. I miss people like fucking around like he used to. I think his wife or whatever get on the call and act all steely and be fucking with me, confusing my ass.
I'm really convinced they were just the same person.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, seriously, both of you guys are very, very nice people, and just so glad to see you in the chat again. Hopefully, everything's going good for you and everything. I haven't talked to you since the pandemic happened, but yeah, dude. But we'll continue on this trailer, and yeah, I'm worried about the rest of this.
I'm just surprised Goro's in here. That's what threw me off. I'm like, Goro, that seems a bit much.
You hear that music right there? Dun, 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 dun.
Sub-Zero.
Get over here. Like, that's the money shot.
Right there.
Ooh.
Okay. So,
that
really
was so fucking cool.
So, really quick. The people that worked on this, or one of the people that worked on this is James Wan, who, also worked on Aquaman. Now, when we did a review for Aquaman, one of the things I remember saying, I was like, whoever did this, because I know that James Wan's connected to the Mortal Kombat movie, is going to be made in the future, they're going to use that wine scene for a move in this movie.
Oh, yeah! I didn't even think about that.
Because remember, we both said that. We were both like, oh, dude, what if, like, that guy does it for Mortal Kombat, and they use those effects and make, like, blood spikes, like a Mortal Kombat fatality move, and they fucking did it here. Now, it's not a fatality, but that looks identical to how they did it in Aquaman.
Which is, I mean, again, I like that. It's like, hey, we use this dude's blood because that is actually hilariously brilliant, for not the way you expect. Because that is a great way to save money. Because one of the biggest things with doing a lot of CG blood is, especially for anyone that's ever watched 300, the blood doesn't hit the floor because it's all CG. But it's like you can't have people bleeding because they're all wearing like almost no armor. So what that did save actually, it looked expensive, but it saved money. Because the blood spilling out means it doesn't have to hit the ground. He just used it all. So you saved the money on there. It's like you spend a little to save a little.
Yeah, and let me see really quick. I'm going to bring up something because I'm surprised that they let Sub-Zero do this. Because there's a character in Mortal Kombat someone just brought up over here, Platinum Wave. And I think you've used this character on me before, if I'm not mistaken. But Scarlet, she is a crazy, crazy bitch that literally uses blood. She can blood bend. So, like, if you're bleeding, she can turn it into any weapon she wants and even create, like, these weird, like, blood vines that, like, rip you apart and shit. She's so fucking badass.
Please nerf.
Yeah, seriously, like, she needs to be nerfed because that shit's ridiculous. But, like, right here, here's a blood spikes fatality right there.
Yeah.
Like,
but I say that, like, some of the smaller characters, like, they might get mentioned in here or in the background. But this is definitely a situation where it's like, hey, we're going to get the fan favorites because, again, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. Like, it's literally... that's how they sell every single Mortal Kombat trailer, like, ever. So it's like, it makes sense, like, hey, we got to focus on these guys. And again, like, unless this movie's the biggest, unless it's not even the biggest piece of shit, like the fucking second one still made money. If this doesn't load, like, if this doesn't boot up, the only way it'll fail is if it doesn't boot up on HBO Max that day. Because again, I don't expect this to be more than $50 million. Like, just the fact that they have to get rated R, and a lot of what they're doing is small scale. But look at that shit. That shit looks cool as hell. That looks like real ice. I don't know how they did that. That's the only thing I don't like. I get you're getting the actual person to do it over here, but like, come on, ADR that shit. Like,
I love
this. That Shao Kahn?
Shane Tsung.
Kano wins.
Sorry, yeah,
You fucking beauty.
That's fucking cool. So I love it. That was badass. But I love Scorpion.
It's a real person saying it, and most likely in the mask. But it's like, look, man, I'm sorry. I'm generally not a traditionalist. But it's get over here. I literally would say that all the time randomly with my friends. I would see them at school. Get over here.
Yeah, like, I mean, you can easily dub Ed Boon's fucking get over here in the game. Just have him scream it, you know what I mean? So, overall, I'm going to give this to Jet really quick. Because, Jet, you saw my reaction the morning this came out. I sat there. I watched the Russian version first because I was so fucking hyped that I couldn't wait to hear this in English. I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to see the visuals. So, I fucking watched it, and when Jed came into the room and just saw me, I was like upset on the bed, like, man, they did not read the room with this fucking trailer. I was pretty peeved. But Jed, what do you think about this now that you've seen it?
I mean, I don't really mind it. It's a Mortal Kombat movie. Like, the most you really need is just, like, good action. But then at the same time, as someone who actually liked the first two movies as goofy as they are, I don't like how serious they are with this one.
Yeah, like that's literally exactly how I feel, because it's like, for one, the explanations of this stuff, I feel like it's unnecessary. Like Sub-Zero, we're trying to find him, and he's a crime lord or something. Like we're gonna go and find him and arrest him, and then he freezes our arms off. For one, why would Sub-Zero freeze your fucking arms off when he can easily kill you? He can literally blood bend, I guess, or turn it into ice.
I mean, he probably thought that dude wasn't gonna make it.
I guess.
It's
Also, I'm in the minority. I wanted fucking Johnny Cage to be in here, because I don't like what they did to him in the second movie. They did him fucking wrong.
Well, see, and here's the biggest thing, because I know people, I want to say this before everybody in the chat starts saying it, because I know that's what they're going to do, but, like, one thing I got to bring up is the fact that Johnny Cage isn't here, like what Jed did. And the thing is like, I'm looking at this trailer again and seeing this part right here where, what's his name, Cole Young is fighting Ed Cage. They might call him Johnny Cage just from that. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
I doubt it. I feel like Johnny Cage, I feel like a lot of what's going to happen is because he had, look, we have to
he doesn't have the flavor.
Yeah, he doesn't. But, I think he's going to be an after credit teaser. I think he's going to show up as an after credit teaser. I feel like a lot of the characters we want is going to be in the next batch. Because it's like, at the end of the day, this is, Mortal Kombat is a very difficult franchise to adapt. Not because of any of the lore, because you can get it. They obviously showed you could pull it off. But there's a lot of fan service stuff that the fans like, but you can't really sell necessarily as well, or you don't want to sit there and just copy what already happened. That's why they didn't sit there and get the theme. That's why they got the actors to actually do the get over here. That's why they're doing a lot of different things. Someone fires a gun in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
when the hell has that ever happened?
Yeah, well,
Wait, isn't there a character in Mortal Kombat that literally uses guns?
Stryker, yeah, but in the movies, when that character showed up in one game.
No, Mortal Kombat 1, Sonya shoots a shotgun, and when she's trying to find Kano.
But again, that's that's with Kano. This situation is Sub-Zero is dealing with a gun, and you get to see how come they can't just shoot the motherfucker? You can just ice everything. I like a lot of what they're doing, and I like the serious tone because these guys are getting brutally murdered. We should be happy-go-lucky about it. It's I like the tone they're going for. They're taking it seriously, and Mortal Kombat has a lot of dumb shit to it, but it also has a lot of really cool shit to it.
I don't know, with these past movies taking things too seriously. I don't know.
That was not the problem with MK2. That was not the problem with MK Annihilation.
Nah, they need to keep in the flavor.
No, fuck that shit.
Keep in a little bit of comedy in there, because these movies that have been these past movies that tried to remake everything and been all serious have been super boring.
Oh, yeah. I disagree. The fucking MK Legacy fucking YouTube, the first season at least, was fantastic. I loved everything about it. They took a more realistic, modern tone to it, and it worked out for the better. Almost every episode was fantastic. That second season was a piece of shit, just because they didn't know how to fuck to write a goddamn show. But a lot of what they did was good, and I like the effort. They're putting the fighting is cool, the visuals are cool, they're nailing the character designs and modernizing at the same time. This is everything that I want from this.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, too. I like the seriousness and everything, so I will disagree with Jet somewhat. But the reason why I was kind of agreeing with her at first is because of the fact that it's these characters, everything's all going to be super duper serious the entire fucking time. We're going to get in a situation where it's you put all your fish in one barrel, and if this shit is silly or bad, or the storyline's not good or whatever, then that's it. There's no enjoyment out of this. It's going to be one of those really annoying. Look, I love seriousness in anything. I like when anybody takes their shit seriously. But did you like it when they made The Craft more serious? Wait, what crack?
The Craft.
Oh, The Craft. No, oh my God, you're right. Yeah, The Craft Legacy, that new one. No, Jed makes a fucking super valid point.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, that's another one. And
I don't know what The Craft is. Charlie's Angels is always it's always been fucking weird, but I don't think that taking things seriously necessarily means they're boring. Yes, if it's written terribly, which I'm afraid because of that whole birthmark line is fucking terrible. But because something's taken seriously doesn't mean it's gonna be 100% of the time it's gonna be super super dark, or the fact that it's going to be terrible. That doesn't necessarily spell terrible. A lot of action movies,
it does take away a lot of the flavor.
Not necessarily. You can add different flavor. It's not going to reach every audience, but look at the Raid movies. The Raid movies are serious as hell. Those are fantastic.
They're just adding salt and pepper. That's not enough.
Yeah, because like here's the biggest thing too. Because I mean, I understand where Alan's coming from, and I see what the chat's coming from too. But it's like at the same time, someone brought up the movie Crank, and that movie was serious, but at the same time, and the movie was serious, but at the same time, it was serious in its foundation, but it was fun. You know, besides that point, where it was like the movie knew that it's kind of ridiculous, so it's having fun with it.
It had ridiculous moments, but it never took. The first one, by the way, that second was a cartoon.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like I wish there was something here with this. Like, dude, I didn't mind Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and I still don't. I know it's like probably not very popular to say, but like the movie was like, you remember Jax, you remember Liu Kang, you really remember Johnny Cage from the first one. And by the way, his fighting, like the guy who actually plays him, I forgot his name, it's Lindsay something, but like he's not a really good choreographer guy. He's not a good fighter, and the body double, the guy they had to come in to fight for him, wasn't that great either. You know what I mean? But like the character is so funny that just the fact that he's even in the fight is amazing, especially against somebody like Scorpion. You look at something like this, and it's like these characters, for one, the very bland. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Alan. You probably know more about this shit than I do. But does this not look like something that was done with the same wardrobe of like Zack Snyder movie? Like, look how it's always.
No, because again, like, there's a sun in the background, so we know this isn't Zack Snyder. But at the end of the day, it's like. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, they're taking it too seriously, they need to be more jokey. No, because that's my biggest criticism with Marvel movies is no one ever takes it fucking seriously. Like, it's a literal combat. Sorry, it's a movie called Mortal Kombat. We're going to a tournament called Mortal Kombat. People are getting fucking ripped in half and sliced in half. I don't need them to cut to the camera and do a fucking wink and go like Comedy Night the Apollo. Like, take it fucking seriously.
I mean, I would like that.
I don't want that. I want, like, what I'm seeing right now is everything.
The shit you're asking for is why the recent Robin Hood movie was so trash.
Yeah.
No, that was just shitty writing. That was not it. Seriously. By the way, movie is not serious at all.
No, that movie is way too serious. We just watched.
No,
it
it is not. You did not watch that movie. That movie
was mad serious and mad.
That movie was terribly written though. It has nothing to do with the seriousness. It was just badly written.
No, that could be a thing. Because writing is part of where you consider something. You know, something's tonality is actually considered, or what do you call it? Not consider, but it's
I'll take this to the hundreds of action movies that I watch randomly in my free time when I get the chance and say this is the exact same tone. Go watch The Raid and tell me that needed like characters winking and joking at the camera. Hell, one of the actors is literally from that movie.
Dude. No, that's a completely different situation because this is with people with powers. Like Raid is something Raid is something that's like literally this guy is fighting in a hallway in a corridor, and he's going through all these, you know, like fighting all these people. Like Daredevil, for instance, too. Like granted, it's kind of silly that the guy's blind, but like it's so grounded in reality that you know, like, you don't have to be silly. You can be serious the entire time. But when you watch something like Mortal Kombat where people are showing fireballs and fire dragon
again, they're doing a lot of it. Just because people have powers with fireballs and ice doesn't mean it necessarily takes away where it needs to turn into fucking Incredibles, like, but rated R. Like, again, a lot of the stuff that happened with Liu Kang is like, yeah, he's a trained warrior monk, and it's a very special ability that's passed down to generations that only a few people know. Sub-Zero is literally part of the clan. Same fucking deal. The rest of the people have powers within the universe. It's like, this is just because people have powers doesn't suddenly change the tone of what's going through. Only if you make it that way. Yes, if Sub-Zero's all of his things had fucking like cartoon sound effects, then you have a point. But they're basically trying to be like, hey, what if these powers existed in real life? And we're seeing this dude take fucking blood out of a dude and turn into ice. It's cool as hell.
Well, one of the biggest things, because you're just saying cool, and like, like, no matter what, the shit's cool because we already seen a trailer. So it's like, me and Jared not saying that.
Let's think about it this way. Like, let's look at this main group right now. So who do we have? We have Sonya, we got Liu Kang, and we got
Kun Lao.
What the fuck is this? Is Kun Lao part of this main group right now? I don't think so.
Kun Lao.
Yeah, he is.
And what? Fake Johnny Cage?
Yeah, Cole Young.
Cole Sprouse.
I was just thinking about it. You just walked off the set of Riverdale, walked into this movie, man.
I say, oh, thank Christ Almighty! I thought you were gone from which forever, Nick Diaz. It's good to have you back. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you for them bits. We appreciate it. But
I'm here also.
Yeah, because like this main group right now, like they seem really serious. This Cole dude, way too serious. Like they just seem very, very boring. Like maybe this dude would be pretty jokey or whatever, crack a couple jokes or whatever. But as I'm looking at it right now, it just seems like, ooh, I really hope they put someone else.
Why does cracking to have a character be cool or not? Like why is that like the end all be all where it's like a character has to crack jokes? Like, don't we already have enough Jack Sparrow fucking led movies? If you have way too many serious characters, then it's just like, wow, I don't like this. Someone needs to break the ice.
Yeah, and
that's why I had Johnny Cage there.
And Kano might be the guy who's going to bring the comedy or whatever, but one thing I want to bring up really quick as far as it being so fucking serious is another thing just in this design of seriousness, where it's like it's trying to be grounded in this ridiculous world of, craziness, because one thing I got to bring up too is Melina. And I'm like, okay, dude, I understand it's kind of somewhat grounded in reality. They got to make sure that these things look kind of like, like they would actually happen, blah, 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 because it gets an effect from you. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. But then when you do something like that, and you do something that's kind of muted as far as like how crazy that it can be with it, you get something like this where the cool thing about Melina is that she's a Shokan person. She's like connected with Kentaro and Baraka and Collector, all those guys. Over here, her face is not even contorted the way it should be. Like every Melina fucking incarnation we've ever had in any game or movie or show, whatever the fuck, it's been super crazy with the spiky teeth and the monsters. Like she's so badass.
MK10, they literally gave her lips just so that she can make out with one of the characters. Like it's hard to tell right now because of the camera angle and the lighting, but like she does have a little bit of the Tarkarian teeth. But if you look at the MK10, it's not that far off.
Going on.
What are you saying, Jet?
It looks like she has the Joker thing going on, where she just got lipstick on the side of her mouth and shit, and just got lips. Like I don't like that so far.
Yeah, and like again, even in MKX, like I'm gonna show this over here. In MK10, I mean, yeah, they had her get lips because she's got to be sexy, and boy is she. But at the same time, it's like you still got the size over here where those Tarkatan teeth are fucking amazing still. Even
and I get that they probably have limitations with makeup or trying to make that work within like the actual context. Or again, we just saw one scene with bad lighting where we didn't get a chance to see that. She's gonna bite some dude's head off at some point during this fucking movie, or do some crazy shit where she tears a dude's throat out. Like it's Melina. Like they got somebody that looks as crazy. Yeah, the teeth might not be perfect, but the mannerisms also gonna help with that character.
And by the way, just to put this out there too. Thank you so much in the chat for someone bringing this up, but Megan Thee Stallion did a way better Melina. Fucking
she did.
Oh, she did keep the teeth. I can't believe that actually went classic. I almost saw her with the mask on.
Yeah, like this is way better. Like, oh, dude, like this picture right here. Look how fucking badass that looks.
Look.
Yeah.
Again, when the movie comes... Okay, first of all, like, again, I see why they decided to go for a Bermuda, because guess what? This character's going to say a few words. I am 100% sure Megan can't talk with that fucking teeth going on. Like, 100%. But it's also practicality. Like, this person has to fight. This person has to talk. This person has to have stuff, like, get hit. So there's going to be a lot of practicalities that actually try to make that mouthful of teeth.
And speaking of Melina, by the way, I gotta bring this up too. And look, this is just for the sake of conversation, but I do think. Let me read this really quick too. E-Mike says, "Now I have something to ask you, Diaz. 2 weeks ago, I was banned from the Hey Twitch chat channel. Her name was Spasola. She banned me for some comments I made, and apparently I think she took that as the wrong way. But I didn't mean them in the wrong way. I may have met him. It's a polite way. Can get banned for being polite to somebody. Here's the thing: you can get banned for being polite to somebody when they're an asshole. So you should not follow assholes. That's the biggest thing, dude." We will not ban you for any of that kind of stuff. But here's the thing, though, man. You got to make sure to really understand, too, that some people might just take something that you think is probably nice, and they might think it's actually super, super rude. So just make sure to write everything perfectly clear when you're typing something inside of a chat, because, you don't know, people are sensitive, man. But speaking of sensitivity, my Mortal Kombat nerdum got fucking sensitive because, dude, just for the sake of conversation, because I understand they might have a Mortal Kombat 2 movie coming out, but once again, we'll get into a bit about that, too. But Kitana is not in this movie. And you have Melina there, and I understand you can have one sister without the other. But the thing is, like, their storylines are intertwined in the sense where Melina can't exist without Kitana. She's a clone of Kitana. And the reason why she's all fucked up and she's so Tarkatan or whatever is that the blood didn't mix well, or whatever the case may be. Some bunch of, technofabble or whatever. But the thing is, though, is like, Melina is a failed attempt at cloning Kitana. So the fact that that's not even mentioned here, Kitana's not even in there, it's kind of strange. And I know that Kitana might show up at the very, very end, or she might be a steamer for part 2. But then it goes into this whole thing of, like, I'm so sick of people planning for their shit to succeed just based on it's coming out. Like, you guys are already planning for Mortal Kombat 2, or are you just trying to give us half-ass Mortal Kombat in general?
I think at the end of the day is like you're talking about this from a person that's so in depth into the universe that you know a lot of stuff's happening. I'm not saying they're going to start making shit up and destroy canon, but they're also going to probably cherry pick like how this universe works, because we don't know how lived in this universe is. We don't know what is going on. So Kitana could just be around, but we're not seeing her because she's busy in Elseworld doing her thing. This might entirely take place on Earth, where it's like shit's being sent, where it's like we're not going to see this character till later because they're telling a different version of events than you're used to. Because you're used to the chronology of like, hey, this happened to this led to this, and now these stories happen. they're gonna mix it up because again, they want to make sure that fans, because like if they follow everything identically from like everything that's going on, you'd be like, well, why am I watching this movie? I already know what's gonna happen. Like, but they're changing it up where it's like, hey, it's gonna be different enough. If they start stomping on canon, that's something else. But also, it's also Mortal Kombat where they make shit up every fucking game. So it's like it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I think that it's good. I think it's gonna be okay. Like I can see the effort they're putting in here. And as far as the characters, like where they are in the universe, I think that Katana's around, but I think they're focusing on Mileena because I think this world is lived in. I stand by that. I think this world has had a couple Mortal Kombats. This is the first time Earthrealm's involved, but this world's been lived in for a while.
Mm-hmm. I can see that, but here's the biggest question I got here, and I'll start with Jet on this one. But like, what do you feel on the idea that this is about fatalities? That's why I'm showing fatalities here. And boy, do they have a weird thing about slowing that shit down. I don't know why they do that, but the thing is like, they promise fatalities, and that's cool. But every character that we've seen, and even when they're fighting each other, it seems like they're really big characters, like really well-known characters, which seems to be kind of like silly to pull that off, considering the fact that like when you kill this character, he can't be used again later on. Blah blah blah. Do you think that there's going to be lots of like nonsensical like deaths in the movie, or do you feel like they're going to keep all the main cast safe? Jet, what do you think?
I mean, they might get rid of like one or two people, but for the most part, I feel like they'll be doing fatalities on people who like really aren't main, like just some unnamed character. They can fucking or like.
Well, like pretty much anything. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of movies.
I was gonna say Earthrealm, just like I don't think they're gonna be doing it in Earthrealm.
Look, yeah.
Well, when they're in the desert, it looks like Earthrealm, but like I don't think I say Earthrealm. But like I'm looking at fucking like outer.
Like where exactly does the
tournament happen?
Tournament take? Yeah, where does it take place in Earthrealm? Right?
No, in
Yes.
Outworld.
Okay, that's why I was getting confused.
Yeah, because they invade Earthrealm after everything goes bad because Earth wins the fight, the tournament, and then Outworld invades, and then you get a little bit of Hades, which actually they call it something else. But there's a bunch of shit too. Really quick, Game says here were the comments I made. I'll read that in a little bit actually after we're done conversation. But I'll make sure because it looks like it's long. There's a heart there, so I don't know what the fuck happened. But anyways, we'll get into that in a bit. But how about you, Alan? What do you think about the fatality aspect of the movie? Do you feel like it's going to ruin the story?
Okay, guys, this is going to be a spoiler, but Sub-Zero is going to die.
Oh yeah, but wait, that's Sub-Zero 1. What about 2 and 3 and 4 and 5?
I know. Every single fucking time. I'll be surprised if Sub-Zero doesn't die in this fucking one. Like, because he just shows up. It's like, I'm Sub-Zero, and then gets murdered. I am Sub-Zero's brother, then gets murdered. I am also Sub-Zero's somewhat. We were in the same room, and I just took his outfit. Like, I fucking hate Sub-Zero for that. But as far as killing the cast, no one's a big enough name here to not die. But then again, their characters are big enough names. Like Jax will probably live, Sonya will probably live. I think Kano's fucking dead because who gives a fuck about Kano? We can easily off him. They're probably gonna have a bunch of random characters, like because they showed a bunch of the off characters. They showed like some dude that was like a lizard and whatever. That might be Reptile.
Yeah,
they're probably gonna get a couple of the smaller casts, like people that we probably mentioned, and be like, they're just going to be the fights, and we're going to show the fatalities on characters that no one gives a fuck about. Mortal Kombat has like 100 characters that who gives a shit about. We can just throw them on. That character looks cool. That character's going to... We're probably going to be watching you go, that character's going to die, depending on the fighting.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I know that Kano definitely kills Reptile, but then again, Reptile can be many different Reptiles. You never know what the fucking situation is with that. And there's so many...
You think Baraka's going to be in here?
See, that's another thing, too.
Barakas?
Yeah, like there's a ton of Tarkana guys that look exactly like Baraka, have the same Baraka moves, so I feel like I love the way Jess said that. A bunch of Barakas.
Well, half this cast is part of a clan of people that all look identical to this, so they keep killing them off and bringing them back.
Well, because Scorpion, like, he's not going to kill any main characters. He's straight up just going to fuck up a bunch of Lin Kuei. So, and those are the people who are dressed like Sub-Zero. Yeah. And then Kano is probably going to beat up, like, some police people or whatever, or maybe kill some monsters. Sonya probably ain't gonna kill anybody, but then, like, here's the thing: either Liu Kang or Kung Lao needs to die. One of them's gonna die, and I don't know who it can be, but one of them. And here's another thing too that's kind of crazy about this as well is like, Sub-Zero is seen as like the main villain here, but like Shang Tsung is there too. So is Shang Tsung even gonna be used for a fight, or is it gonna be like?
But, like it's gonna be very similar to a mix of a lot of stuff because like with the first Mortal Kombat, it's like Shang Tsung getting everyone together. But clearly, this is focusing on the Sub-Zero Scorpion rivalry because it always has to focus on the Sub-Zero Scorpion rivalry. It's Mortal Kombat. Most likely, he's gonna be like the last villain at the end. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what happens though. For me, I'm looking forward to the movie, but that was a really bad trailer because they needed to have that focus on that Mortal Kombat. The fact they didn't have
20
that,
years old, we can have a new song.
I disagree. I feel like you gotta read the room. If you know, it's like if Michael Myers didn't have the it's like you gotta have it. What if Legend of Zelda didn't have the Hyrule? Because by the way, you say this, Alan, but like you got mad because Breath of the Wild is not like Zelda. It's a non-Zelda game. I'm Alan.
I'm right. I stand by my words.
Yeah. What if?
But that was the finished product. I didn't see that from the trailer.
Yeah, no, you did say it from the trailer. And by the way, it doesn't matter if it's a finished product.
You didn't know me back then. How the fuck did I say that?
Because we talked about it. And I did know you. It came out in 2017.
You literally didn't know me when that trailer dropped.
It came out in 2017.
Yeah, you barely knew me, dude. That was 4 years ago.
Okay, so did I not know you or I barely knew you? Like,
you weren't talking enough that you knew my thoughts or even give a fuck about my thoughts.
But by the way, my thing about that still stands as you playing the game in 2021. It doesn't matter. Like, the fact... like
it does matter because, again, if the movie basically falls flat and misses a lot of stuff that is essential to Mortal Kombat, like, if nobody dies in this movie, then you're right, it misses the point. This trailer, on the other hand, it's like, hey... they're trying to reboot and separate themselves from the movies because they're like, hey, those came out 20 plus fucking years ago. We want to show that we can still make these movies and not just only these things work on video games. Like, we want to do different stuff. That's fine.
I think we misaligned in what we're talking about there. Just like essentially, it's just like when something is a property of something, it's like those things need to go, like, those things are intertwined. They're together. Like, that's like if you know, the Zelda didn't have fucking Link in there. Like, it's still called Zelda, but there's no Link. It's like you would be mad. You're pretending like you're above the idea of not liking.
No,
something
that's a false equivalency because you talk about a titular character versus a theme song that was only created for the movie. That was created for that movie.
Alan, you know we're talking about the movie, right?
Yeah, but this is a different movie though.
But
this isn't like a remake of that first one. This is a different property.
You do realize that happens with the Terminator, Michael Myers, and Exorcist, and literally every other fucking
Those
movie.
were movies that started off as movies.
And Avengers.
Those started off as movies. Terminator started off as a movie. Alien started off as a movie. Halloween started off as a movie.
Avengers did start off as a movie.
Avengers, basically, they made that shit up. It might as well have been a startup movie.
You were so full of shit.
What do you mean? Most of that shit didn't happen in the comics. Most of that shit didn't happen in the comics, so they adapted and made their own thing. Much like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was based off a property, was based on a video game property. When they made the movie, they did a lot of different stuff, even though they kept it similar, where they managed to add a lot of stuff in there, and they created a theme for the movie, for that specific movie. They're now doing a different movie, so it's fine if they're doing different stuff.
Well, you know, it is what it is. You might be saying, what do you think, or why do you think Liu Kang's going to die, Diaz? I think that they need to have someone die, and it can't be Cole Young, it can't be Sonya, because that storyline's going to continue with her and Kano. And I like to book this as far as, like, almost like a wrestling fan. Like, you know, when you book something, it's almost like, okay, this angle needs to go here, and this tier needs to go over there, and this can be the story that continues this. So, like, for me, Sonya and Kano are completely safe from death in this movie. They need to fight each other in the next one, or whatever the fuck they're going to be doing.
No, Kano's totally fucking dead in this.
No, he's still not dying. Because right now he's a face. Bet? Right now he's a baby face, and at the end we're going to find out he's a heel. He's like a double agent for Outworld or something, and you're going to find out, oh, I thought Kano was good, but he's a piece of shit. And then...
no, I'm willing to bet you. I'm willing to bet you right here, right now, that Kano dies in this movie.
All right, I bet you... I'll bet you one of us has to watch... Like, whoever loses needs to watch a movie they don't want to watch.
Sure, that's fair.
Perfect. You're going to be watching the fuck out Teen Titans Go.
I will. Nah, you're going to be watching. I don't know what the fuck I'll make you sit through, but I'll figure something good.
Don't you already have to watch Teen Titans Go for something?
Nope. I almost, if Texas went blue during that election.
God damn it. That would have been great. Because, and you know what's funny too, Jet? Is like he's going to like the fucking movie. You know he's going to like
tell you.
It's a good movie.
I'll lie my goddamn ass off.
But yeah, no, I feel like it's going to happen. The reason why Liu Kang or Kung Lao needs to die is because one of them is non-essential to whatever the storyline is going to go. Like, if they feel like, we don't want to use Liu Kang, they can totally continue the story with Kung Lao and vice versa. So it's like, we'll see what happens with that. And Cole Young, whether he becomes Johnny Cage or whether he's a new character that's important, the fact is he's technically our main character, which I cannot believe I'm saying that. It's like a character we don't know is a main character. It's fucking silly.
Yeah, but come on. You said when me and you were trying to like create a Mortal Kombat movie, we literally both kind of agreed like, hey, having a character we don't know that we learn from it that might be important a little bit later is not a problem.
It's not a problem, like a horrible problem, but the fact is like, okay, well, give me some kind of like, he has a birthmark.
He's a Link Way, so he's another Sub-Zero. Fuck it.
Yeah, but anyways, we'll be moving on now, guys. This is going to be very, very quick. I just want to talk about the ending of this fucking thing because You gotta explain some shit to me, Alan. But
bro, don't rely on me on this.
I have to. Look at this. This is Justice League. See, it looks like cool. Oh yeah.
It will. It has to.
Shut up.
I literally have never thought seeing this trailer. Like, I just kind of avoided it because, like,
in a society.
Right there.
Oh my god.
Why is that a big deal? We live in a society. Why?
Okay. Two things. One, Jared Leto's not a good actor. I don't care who anyone says that. That man has had like one decent acting credential his entire fucking career and has coasted on that till now to mediocrity. Second, I don't fucking know. Apparently, it's a thing the Joker said once in a comic, and it's like attuned to him. But honestly, I'd like to know. I fairly know a lot about, at least not a lot more. But like, I like to know I'm pretty versed in Batman mythology. I've literally never heard him say "we live in a society." Honestly, I thought that was a George Costanza. Like, I thought that was like a Costanza line.
I actually learned this recently that he actually never has said that. It's just been a meme thing based on like the Joker's popularity when it comes to certain people in certain communities, and having him say like certain dark things on memes and something like that. And through that, the "we live in a society" thing kind of came out of that. So it's a completely meme phrase that he's never said, but I guess now he is.
Yeah,
well, again,
it's so
he doesn't say that in The Dark Knight. He never says we live in a society.
Yeah, I don't remember him saying it either. Like, I remember people dressing up as him and being like, hey, like, people, that's so fucked up, and I can't stand society, and society made me this way.
Yeah,
whatever the fuck.
Society made me. He doesn't say that in that movie, but like, he says that in other iterations. But like, the whole "we live in a society," I'm like, I've never heard him say that. I don't know where the fuck that comes from. Apparently, it comes from a meme, which wouldn't surprise me. But it's like, at the end of it, it's like, look, I don't fucking care about the Joker. I've never cared about the Joker. Outside of The Dark Knight and a few bits in some of the video games, I've never liked the Joker at all. I think I honestly think he's just the Riddler with less shit going on. And I fucking hate the Riddler. But as far as this shit, it's like, look, man, I don't fucking know what is going to go on, but it could be okay.
Batman.
Oh my god. Jared Leto is not a good actor. This isn't a bad role for Jared Leto. This isn't a situation where he's badly directed or badly written. He is a bad actor. This man is Tommy Wiseau with less of an accent. I don't understand. I just talked conversations with a buddy of mine. Outside of Requiem for a Dream, there's not a single fucking movie that anyone can name that Jared Leto has ever been good at.
Fight
so the
Club.
idea that
Little Things.
What?
Fight Club, Little Things.
Fight Club, yeah, Fight Club. You want to know his character was a Fight Club? Some random pretty boy that gets his ass handed to him by the main fucking character and then forgotten about for the rest of the fucking movie.
No, but he becomes the leader of the group technically, because when Aaron Orton's going fucking crazy, he's like, hey, like, we gotta continue Project Mayhem. Like, fucking, I'm
literally gets forgotten about. Literally, to the extent where I love that fucking movie. Seen it 3 or 4 times. I had to have someone tell me that like fucking 5 months ago. I saw the movie when I was a kid, and I forgot it in there.
That's not the movie's fault. You didn't pay attention.
It is a characters. But Jared Leto barely does anything in any movie that he's in. Apparently, he's also in Psycho. Guess what? Another bit role in which he gets fucking murdered. Like, this character just coasted on one fucking movie. This guy coasted on one fucking movie. Oh, he was half decent, I guess, in Blade Runner 2049. Another bit role the character barely shows up in. He has these like 4-second lines of dialogue. Everyone goes, he's a really good actor. It's a shame he didn't do well. Literally every fucking time someone says, what was that fucking movie you saw? Oh god, what was that movie? With Denzel Washington and Rami Malek. I can't fucking remember what it was called. Some fucking serial killer movie.
Fuck, I'm trying to remember.
Little things or whatever. All the little things are all the small things.
Little things. Yeah, we just reviewed.
No, the Blink-182 song I just referenced, but
yeah. So is that the woman running down naked?
What do people say? Oh, that's a bad role or badly written. Jared Leto's a better actor. He's not. He's a terrible actor. He just got lucky once.
Look, I guess. I disagree with you fundamentally, but like the thing is, I'm gonna ask Jet really quick. When you saw this thing kind of pop up, and then he starts looking different and everything, and I know I always ask you this, and I know that you keep telling me the same thing. I don't give a fuck, but please tell me that maybe slightly something changed looking at his face here.
I already sent to the chat my exact face when I heard it. Well, I said, it's close enough to my face that I basically made when he said that.
But do you feel like with the long hair and the more serious thing, maybe you can kind of like stomach this better than how he was in Suicide Squad? No beef. No beef.
No, it's just as bad. Like, my face is not unclenched from utter cringe.
Yeah, this is
like
bad.
I'm literally cringing so hard. My lips are getting dry. I need some Vaseline.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at this. I don't know. Marissa's saying, do you guys like 30 Seconds of Mars music? I like the ones that are in
I like two or three songs on one album.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, so I mean, he's not even good there. But
He's
then again,
a fine singer. I'll give him that. He's a good singer. He can sing. He can hold a note. He has some pretty good lyrics, and he has a good band behind him. Cool. He doesn't mean he's a good actor.
yeah, no, but I mean, like I said, for me, good acting, it really depends on the material. And I gotta be honest, dude. Like, I try to put situations in my head of like, okay, what if Heath Ledger was still alive and he was in Suicide Squad? Do you think he would have handled being like, oh, you want beef? You want beef? Like, you can't. I mean,
Ew.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Or like, look at little things. Like, I think Jared Leto did great in that movie, but to be honest, like, he didn't like wow you because the character's not wowable. He's walking around sweaty and he looks sick and he's some kind of crazy guy. Literally anybody can do that. Get any skinny white guy and there you go. I don't know why they spent the money on Jared Leto. You can have anybody do that shit. More annoying than him was Rami Malek going around mumbling the whole fucking movie like, so it's like, granted, yeah, Mauricio, I agree. Jared Leto was great in little things, but technically anybody can. So I totally get people talking shit about Jared Leto. But then at the same time, too, and Fight Club, I gotta tell you, I think he did pretty good. But once again, any blonde-haired dude could have been in that movie.
Yeah,
like
you could forget about him in the movie, and honestly, not even the movie doesn't fucking change. Was he a good actor? Oh, he really got his face pummeled. I'm glad he went to acting school for that.
Yeah, well, I mean that's still kind of tough. But...
Lord of War. Hey Nick, you want to know how long he's in the movie for Lord of War? About 5 minutes, and he just snorts coke and gets shot and murdered, and that's the end of his role in the movie.
Okay, let me ask you this then.
Movie in which he has 5 minutes of screen time.
Okay, compare him though to other musicians that turned actors. You probably don't got a big list, by the way.
I don't so fucking what? Like, stop telling me he's a good actor. Like, not you, but like people in general.
Yeah, no, I get you, but like, then I feel the same way I feel the same way as you do when people talk about The Rock. Like, stop telling me The Rock's a good actor. He's not. He's the best acting wrestler, but like he's being like him being the big buff guy. He's in bullshit where Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger would be in. And by the way, too, it's like
I gotta agree with you. I don't find The Rock to be a good actor either.
I don't think he's okay. I don't think he's a good actor, but I think when he's in a movie, he makes it better because he's able to. He's charismatic. I'll give him that because like I can name a bunch of movies. The fucking second G.I. Joe movie, a bunch of the Fast and Furious movies. Like there are movies where it's like, hey, The Rock's on screen. I enjoy watching. The only reason I watched the movie The Tower or whatever the fuck it was called.
But
Skyscraper. I can't fucking remember what it was called.
He just plays himself in every single movie he's in.
Yeah.
True, but I can at least understand. I can at least see him. It's like, oh, he's being himself. I can at least enjoy that. Jared Leto is in movies for 5 fucking minutes, but is put on this pedestal as this incredible actor when he does fucking nothing at all.
See
like,
where you're saying like I've never seen pedestal shit. I swear to God, I've never had. Like
everybody talks about him like he's a great actor all the fucking time in all these fucking Facebook pages, and I don't understand where it comes from because it's always the same thing. We're like, oh, they really wasted him in Suicide Squad. Did they? Or is that just his acting caliber?
What? No, like, dude, that character was wasting Suicide Squad. Like,
yeah, that character was wasted Suicide Squad, but I don't think
you're putting a lot on Jared Leto, where it's like, dude,
he's nothing. No way. That's my point. He's not a good actor.
Well, I know,
like
but
you could put Tommy Wiseau, and it would have been way better.
No, you are okay. Come on, like not even Nick Diaz.
That would have been funny. Yeah,
it would have been exactly. But it's like Jared Leto can be replaced by anybody at all times. Just get Shia LaBeouf's life together and grow his hair out, and then maybe it could be Jared Leto.
Holy shit, man! These are some fucking hot fresh.
I've had enough of him too, so he can go.
Yeah.
Like fuck it. Like at this point, it's like I hate when people coast on like a single good performance. I hate that because it's like, did you actually earn it, or are you just coasting on it until people figure out your shit? How many shitty movies in a row? How many bad scripts in a row are you gonna take before people realize, no, maybe you actually just suck?
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from. I don't remember him being positioned that high in any kind of like acting compliments. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think that's why, as someone, I'm forgivable on that. Because I will say, like, you know, he did okay with the Joker, as bad as it was. When I watch when I watch fucking, what's that movie called? Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
When I watch that movie, like, I literally like watching Will Smith, Harley Quinn, and fucking, and Joker. Like, everybody else sucks in that movie. They're terrible. But those are the three that I'm, like, really paying attention, and I think it's fucking entertaining. Like, I was entertained. I watched that movie, and I know it's not popular to say anything good about any kind of DC movie that came out in 2015 to, like, 2017, but Batman v Superman, I don't think it's that bad either. Like, those two movies, I just, you know, Justice League is bullshit, but, like, the other two movies, Really quick, E-Mike, and we'll move out of this topic too. But E-Mike saying, sorry to change the subject real quick. Do you think Samoa Joe will stay on commentary? Or do you think he'll get back in the ring eventually? He'll definitely get back in the ring, but he needs to lose some fucking weight. I'm sorry to be that guy. I'm not trying to talk shit about people and their fucking fatness or whatever. I'm fat, but the thing is, like, when you're an athlete and like you're jumping your body on top of somebody else, and you gotta be like, awake and like you gotta keep up with everything. It's like, yeah, dude, he's gonna hurt somebody, and he keeps hurting himself constantly. So yeah, dude, until you fucking care enough to get in the goddamn gym, then don't get in the ring. He's good at commentary. He should just stay on there, and he's funny, he's cool. Look at me, I'm doing commentary technically. Like, just do that. Can't play basketball, can't do the sports. That's why I'm doing this shit. So it is what it is.
Before we get off this topic, I'm just gonna say I would watch Suicide Squad multiple times over than I would Justice League.
Yeah.
I honestly I do too. I don't think that movie is that bad. I think Suicide Squad got a bad rep because there are some bad parts. Holy fucking shit! That entire climax is terrible. But like there are parts where I enjoyed it. I remember watching, going, it's not so bad. But Justice League, it's like, bro, that's like bad decision after bad decision.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this. Like, I'm playing it again, and hopefully I'm not like distracting you guys with the volume. So sorry about that. But like, I'm looking at this, and this doesn't look that much better. Like this Zack Snyder Justice League thing, it does not look better at all. I
don't know if it necessarily is gonna be even better, but at the end of it, it's like I feel like this is Zack Snyder's last shot to really do anything in the DC universe. Because like, if this just colossally fails, it's like it has everything against it. Everyone on the internet already made their decision about this movie. They've already rated it. There's reviews already out. Like, people already made their fucking decisions. So it's like, at the end of it, it's like, I like Zack Snyder as a director. I think he can do stuff visually that no one else can do. But I think he is bad when he comes to scripts. He doesn't know what a good script is, and he just takes whatever is given to him and just films it. He's not a script guy. He's a visuals guy, which is great if you have a good foundation, but terrible if you're just making whatever shit David S. Goyer or Chris, whatever the fuck, is working with you. But it's like, it has to be better, because I don't think Joss Whedon did a good job with Justice League. I think he fucking botched that whole thing.
Yeah.
That like the Flash in Justice League was literally so irritating. It's just like I can't watch a 4-hour movie with him again. I can't. He was the worst part of the movie. I can't do it again. I can't do it.
And then like 4 hours too, by the way. It's like, come on, dude. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and watch all this like, weird, like, I hate characters that are written like they're socially anxious. So he's like, hey.
Well, he's a speedster, so he's always like, he has like 3 fucking emotions in that. He's either going, oh shit, oh good die. I'm the funniest guy in the room. I don't know what's going on. That was his entire fucking character. He's the worst Flash.
Yeah, E-Mike saying, I agree with you. I don't want Joe to turn out to like Yokozuna. Yeah, that was a fucked up story about him dying and everything because of his overweightness. Pretty fucked up stuff. But by the way, I'm going to bring this up with the chat really quick too. E-Mike wanted to ask me this question. So I'm going to read this to you guys. He says, here are the comments I made that still, that was at this girl, whatever. He says, that's still at it. Sorry, you write a little weird there, buddy. He says, that's still at it. You got determination. Could you make fan art of the character from Hell of a Boss? I also said goodnight with a heart. I didn't mean that in a bad way. I was just being a gentleman. I don't know. Twitch is weird. So the thing is, though, is maybe they had a thing like, you can't say the word hell. That could be a thing. Some people have that literally listed inside their chat things, but they usually like censor it. So if that was like
I feel like it's probably like requesting like them to draw something or whatever. Maybe they weren't a fan of like what you were requesting, or basically like they don't like request at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because maybe Twitch is a thing like that. Like, no, keep that shit to the Instagram, like commission site or something. So try to avoid doing that. But like, I don't think he's anything mean at all, dude. I think that Twitch was just probably weird, or that guy or whoever you were watching was weird. But also
maybe they were just weird. Maybe they were just weird about like people requesting stuff. Like, I don't think you said anything bad.
Yeah, so you're definitely good there, buddy. But here's the thing, though. We're gonna get into this very, very quickly as well. This is gonna be all Alan, because every time I say this show sounds cool and I want to watch it, something comes up and I can't. But Batwoman, season 2, episode 4 and 5. You can talk about just the latest one if you want to, Mr. Alan Shakazine.
Sure. So this is the continuing thread of, at some point I'll actually enjoy Batwoman. At this point, I'm just watching because it's the only CW superhero show that's currently out. It's hard for me to sit there and say anything other than I just don't think I think the writing in the show holds it back so much. Where it's like the actors they have are decent. they have a decent-ish budget, and at least the visuals and the costume design to get right. But the writing is so bad all the time with every character that it's like I don't even know why. Like they basically I feel like they put every single plot line on hold from season 1 because they're like, look, we had ideas, but the main person just fucking left, and now they've shifted their view in the season 2. We're putting all the plot lines on hold where the main character might still be alive, and now we're focusing all on that. To which she's not coming back, so I don't know what their plan is. But my guess is they're just gonna exhaust that thing to either kill her off or have her letter going, "Hey, I'm gonna leave forever, take over the bat suit, peace out, do the Cape proud or whatever," and then they can actually move on. But the writing is this show's biggest crutch, where it's like this could be a good show because they had a great fight scene. I was like, finally, I get a cool fight scene in this. They managed to do the bat stuff cool. They set it up perfectly, and she can fight. She looks cool in the suit, and she can fight. The problem is the show it's like I'm watching it and I'm just like, oh my fucking god! Like I'm just tuning out. I'm like, oh, I gotta tune back in, gotta rewind to watch what's going on because they're setting up new plot lines. But it's like the writing is its weakest part. When it fits a woman, what I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what fucking Lurker was saying.
Lurker, yeah, he's just making a joke. It's all good. But yeah, like. I don't know, man. I'm looking at this and like even this trailer. Usually these trailers when I watch them and I have like some sound going on in my ear, I'm like, oh, like that sounds like a pretty cool plot point here. This it just seems kind of like this was like a filler episode, and usually that's the case with like episodes 3, 4, and 5 of anything. But then we saw that kind of swapped differently with WandaVision, where those episodes were fucking super important and way better. With this show, I don't know if that's the case here. With this felt like filler, and that's why it was kind of like bad because I remember episode 2, you were like, oh shit. Here we go, season 2, episode 2, blah, 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 it's getting better. And now we're at that point now where it's just like, yeah, it seems like it's
I don't think it's getting worse, but it's not getting better. It's stagnated where it's like, this is bad. This is like, I can't even forgive it bad. Like, Arrow was bad for, season 1. Straight up. That season was fucking terrible. But season 2 was fantastic. Season 3, it fell off. But when it came back to season 4, they learned their lesson and were able to, figure it out. Flash, it goes back and forth, but like, even the worst episodes of The Flash are still kind of cool. There's a cool power. They're doing the cool shit. There's cool stuff going on. You could tell this season is just dead in the water because they had to scramble this. I don't know if they just couldn't afford to take the time, or they didn't want people to forget about the season, or they knew that they weren't going to be able to ever get it back. But it's like the main character leaving this is about to kill this show because this show is not getting any better. It might get worse depending on what's happening. And if they don't remedy this by like the next couple episodes, or they're probably gonna end the season off, like end this season and get rid of Kate, move on, do new storylines, get rid of the characters that are crushed to the old one, and do new shit. Because you consistently trying to tie it back to season 1 is ruining the show.
Yeah, but for this episode, man, because because the one you're reviewing right now is it episode 4 or 5?
5, the most recent one.
Okay, cool. So with that said, and that came out today, I guess. But what'd you rate it though? Out of 5, by the way.
This is a 2. There's a cool fight scene, but I was bored through most of it. And it's like, hey, you can fight. You can fight in the suit. You can make it look cool. I'll give you. I will always get points to a cool fight. But when there's nothing else going on and I'm tuning out and I'm missing less dialogue because I'm just bored out of my mind, I'm not going to give you anything more. Like this wasn't watchable. I only like anybody else that wasn't a fan of this, that isn't a fan of CW stuff, that isn't just going to give them their time no matter what, is going to walk away. And that's why the ratings are so low, because it's just bad.
Yeah. And it fucking sucks because, like, yeah, this is not the first time I've actually heard this. People were talking shit last week about the other episode, and I don't remember what the, specifics were. But it just seemed like, oh, this show, I'm trying my best, blah, blah, blah. And this episode, I mean, I didn't read anything about this today. So, like, I don't know if you're the only person who thinks this way about it. But, like, yeah, it's fucking strange. Thoughts on Cruella? I actually watched a little bit of that trailer, and I thought it was trash. But we'll probably talk about that in a minute if you want to. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, I don't know if we're moving on from, I keep saying Catwoman, but Batwoman.
Yeah.
But I quickly give my thoughts on there. At first, I was like, I'm not going to fucking watch this trailer. It's Cruella. I don't give a fuck. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's Harley Quinn, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, I couldn't care less. I watched the trailer. I'm like, honest, you know what? You sold me, Disney. You actually sold me on one of these because this is a character that's rich and famous and then goes through a bunch of series of crazy bullshit. This looks like Good Time. Like, this just looks like Good Time, but Disney made it. Like, look, I'm not saying it's going to be as good as Good Time. I'm not crazy. But, like, you're seeing this character that's probably going to go over this crazy fucking bullshit over, like, a day and a half in their life. And I'm like, honestly, yeah, I'm kind of cool with it. Like, you just have to, this movie just has to be some nuts bullshit and just kind of keep going. Like, I like what's going on with it. I like the craziness. Emma Stone is actually surprisingly interesting as this character, and I want to see what happens. I don't give a fuck about the Dalmatians. I like the movie when I was a kid. That's about it. So it's not like they're changing her up. It's like, no, I want to see what happens to this character. I want to see the craziness that goes on, and the trailer sold me. It did its job.
Yeah, for me, I mean, here's the thing. I know it's a Disney movie, so like for me, I was kind of like, eh. But like, and there you go, Mauricio. Like what you said, I was gonna say that right now. Like, yeah, the big comparison everyone's bringing up is Joker, and it's like, yeah, or something that's more serious.
And Joker was just Taxi Driver and the Kings of Comedy. Like, how far back this rabbit hole do you want to go?
Well, essentially, yeah, but like that's the thing I don't like about this too is like, especially like with the black and white thing there, and then like the whole like, oh, it's nice and dirty, and it's this, that, and the other, and it's like it's Cruella. Like, you're Disney, you're good at doing Disney shit. Like, don't try to come over here and start doing like what everybody else is doing.
That's why I like about it though, because like if this was just gonna be another like cookie cutter Disney, esque where everything's super shiny, I would have just fucking torn out. But like this character's dirty and like explosions and shit. This is like, again, I like it. It sold me on like what I want to see. Like there's probably gonna be some cool car chases. I'd be laughing my ass off if there's a choreographed fight scene. I highly doubt it. But I just want to see, again, like I brought up Good Time, not like, oh, I think the Zachy brothers fucking directed. It's like, no, it's gonna be one crazy night or one crazy day where she eventually starts off as somebody and then through a bunch of explosions and robbing shit and doing all sorts of crazy bullshit becomes the Cruella we eventually know. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds interesting to me.
One thing I want to bring up really quick too is like this is something I was thinking of, like, oh man, I hope they don't do this the same thing they did with this movie I'm about to bring up. God damn, I'm fucking up a lot. 2020, The Witches came out. I think this is like in October that it came out. But
I refuse to watch this one. That Anne Hathaway's accent was so terrible in that trailer.
But like this shit kind of looks cool, and there's like some concepts here that could be kind of scary or whatever, especially compared to the old witches back in the day. But I'm looking at this fucking thing over here, and this I would have been down to watch, but then look how goofy it gets. It's like you guys could have did something here, and granted, like that looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, you're right. That looks, oh my god, that looks so bad. But like at the end of it, it's like watching the Cruella thing. It's like it doesn't focus so much on that nuts kind of magic CG. Like I can't remember if there's magic in the Dalmatian world. I know they talk, but that could just be Disney magic. But like to me, this looks like, yeah, people say this looks like Joker, and it's like I don't take that as a bad thing. I think this is like, hey, we're just going to do this completely weird interpretation of this character that most of y'all only know as this villain in this one movie. And it's like, yeah, we're going to tell the backstory. And it's like, you can do whatever you want. You could do whatever the fuck you want with this, because like this character isn't like so entrenched as a main character, is that it's like, yeah, free reign, fuck it, go.
Jet, do you have any kind of like history with 101 Dalmatians at all?
I mean, I didn't hate it.
Yeah, did you?
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but I mean,
Yeah, well, did you watch the 1996 one, or was it like the old one that you watched?
What's the most recent one?
I think it's that one. But like the thing is, like there was one that the animated one that people always bring up, and I'm always like, yeah, that looks like shit.
Oh,
like,
you're talking about the live action one or the cartoon? I've seen the cartoon one. I didn't see the live action one.
Oh, okay, so you watched the 1961 version, which I gotta tell you, I hate it. Like I look at this and it's just loud. It's annoying. Cruella is such a cartoony fucking villain. I don't like Disney stuff. I don't even know if this is Disney. Is this Disney?
I mean, that's where she belongs at. Like being a cartoony ass villain. That's where she fits.
That's what I like about the trailer Cruella, where it's like, yeah, she's going through some crazy stuff, but it doesn't seem like it's going over the top. Because again, you guys said like, yeah, of course he's an over the top villain. Every villain in Disney's over the top. They're supposed to be overtly evil. That's kind of like what drives to a lot of people. Like you have people like Scar, who's a little bit more ground to earth, but he literally has like sing-alongs where he turns like hyenas into Nazis. Like there's a lot of over the top villains in Disney stuff.
I will say I don't give two shits about this trailer because I don't need no whole movie trying to basically glorify some fucking bitch who skins puppies.
Yeah, and like another thing too, it's like, are we supposed to go like, oh, that's why she is like, it's stupid. Like, why is she flames right
She's
there?
already evil. She's a terrible person. So this is how terrible.
This is Disney's way of trying to do this whole Joker thing. And I already don't like the fucking Joker. I'm not gonna watch this.
Yeah, it's dumb as shit. Like, and the thing is, like, Disney, if you're gonna be all magical and do your thing, whatever, that's cool. But like, you're trying to mix it in with something like we kind of missed the point with Joker. They're like, ooh, Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, that was really dark and whatever. So let's just make everything literally dark and whatever. And it's like, no. It was grounded in reality. And reality is fucking dark. That's why that's the thing. If Joker
Grounded
was
in
running
reality, and there was explosions and gunfights and all crazy shit happening.
So fucking hard. If they try to make this some sort of feminist movie, I'm going to cringe so hard that my Bucci will literally fucking clench.
I don't know what the fuck word you thought you made, but let's just
Bucci, Alan, my Bucci will literally fucking clench.
I mean,
in the worst way possible.
Her Gucci combined. It's like it's like when the.
I don't need a breakdown of the word.
Okay, well, this is really cool. Yumek says, "Have you ever seen the Dust Spoke Keep Sholan?"
You talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and I can easily say everyone here except maybe Jet hasn't seen it.
Yeah. How about you, Jet? Have you seen it?
Seen what?
Any JoJo Bizarre Adventures.
Can't try it again. I'm gonna try to say it again. Yeah.
I'm trying to help you, buddy.
It's the Dust Spoke Kishibe Run. It's a spin-off.
I've only seen a couple episodes of JoJo.
He's just randomly gargling right now.
I like that name. It's pretty cool. But so JoJo, okay, I'm surprised that JoJo's even doing some kind of spin-off. Aren't they good with their own fucking thing? Like, why they gotta start kind of branching out? Like, I don't know.
They've been doing great. Oh, dude, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is a weird-ass anime where it's like every single like iteration is like an alternate universe, or like it's a retelling with like some of the same characters but in a completely different area of the world. Doing a spin-off would not be that fucking difficult because the stories don't really connect. Like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 are different stories. It's like an anthology.
By the way,
well, they connect. It's just like it always focuses on like a different JoJo.
Okay, so I just went back to the I went back to 101 Dalmatians trailer and I paused it at a certain point. Does it not look like he's looking up that thing's ass? I mean, look at that.
Stop the conversation for this?
Yeah.
I didn't think that looked like an ass. I think that looked like ears.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Look at, there's more ass there. That's a lot of ass.
That's a tail.
That's a lot of. Look at that.
Tail.
Oh. Yeah, okay, it's behind him. Okay, so.
Oh my fucking god, you stopped the conversation to be
I thought it was like two legs, and like he was like between like the legs were up, and he's like.
You thought those were legs?
I thought he was like just getting a big fucking whiff, bro. Like just pulling them like to the side, just That's what I thought.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Shit, sorry. I haven't seen. I don't know. I don't look at animal asses, so I was a little confused.
You clearly don't even look at animals entirely.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with you. Fuck you. Anyways, here's the thing, though, guys.
I don't fucking know. I still can't pronounce your name.
Yep.
Unlike Nick, I'm not gonna try and.
It's Lucuro. It's Lucuro. It's not a hard name.
Probably, but I don't want to fuck it up and pull you.
He would forgive you. Lucuro's actually a really nice guy. I appreciate that person. Here's the thing. We're gonna talk about this really quick. We're gonna talk about last week's episode very, very quickly. Then we're gonna talk about this week's episode, which might not be so quickly, but. We got to do it. Now, for me, episode 6 of WandaVision, I didn't watch a whole lot of, so I'm going to come over here sounding more stupid than I already have so far. So I'm going to let Alan take this in a very, very quick review. But just before I continue on, I watched some of it. I didn't like what I saw. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like this part over here. I didn't like some, what do you call it, revelations, some things, some reveals. Definitely not like the way it ended. But I wasn't here the entire time. I watched some pieces. But you, man, what'd you think of this? And do you feel like it was a filler episode? Because I totally did.
Not necessarily. I think that it's weird because, like, and by the way, it's total spoilers. Like, this is the only way you can really talk about Wanda stuff right now without saying, hey, it was kind of cool. And the review is, we're going to go into a bit of spoilers. The thing about episode 6 is, what I liked about it is, like, the fact that this series essentially is confined to about 10 episodes, there's no real filler episodes except for the one where they have to catch everyone up. Every episode has... If it's not completely overt, has hidden messages that'll eventually be revelations later on.
Yeah, it moves the goalpost closer, where it's like, okay, this is a tentpole moment, and every episode has that moment where, like, if you did like a compilation post about every single thing that's important in the show, every episode would have a piece of it in that compilation video.
And even stuff you won't even realize, and that's what I'll talk about specifically episode 7. Even stuff you won't realize is something later until you look back on it. But the thing about episode 6 is, it was a little bit slower, but you can kind of see that Wanda's losing control of the world. She doesn't know what's going on. She's having to straight lie to people. And you start to see it's like, hey, these kids are developing powers. The world's starting to break down. And you're starting to see a lot of the stuff that's going on. She's starting to lose control. And it's starting to point to, it's like, hey, someone else is helping her out or something. And it's causing a lot of problems. So, it would be really quick. I like the episode. I like a lot of what's going on. I'm not a huge fan of Malcolm in the Middle. I've said this multiple times. It didn't really change my episode. But one of the things that it did like was when it was basically focusing, like, it answers a lot of questions even I didn't know I had. Because it was like, hey, everyone's being controlled, right? But then the show's like, hey, did you ever think about what happens on the outskirts of town? And I go, you know what? I didn't. And it was terrifying. Where it's like people are just like stuck in like bad animations from video games. And I'm like, oh my fucking god. You don't even have the foresight to like walk around. You're just stuck in like doing this arm pose because her power is focused in the center, but it weakens as it goes out because of course it fucking would. That's how they've been able to get in this whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And that's the scene where he fucking has to crawl out of that thing.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god. I was like, man, I hated this character before this show, but then this show made me love this character. So watching him fall apart, that was hard to watch.
Yeah. And I like that scene, and I saw that like on a YouTube thing. I didn't even watch that when I was watching the episode. I just saw that later. I was like, oh fuck. But yeah, man. But really quick before we get to the main thing, because the next episode has a lot to do with this episode too. But what would you rate episode 6?
I think it's weaker. It's only weaker because man, you can't top that fucking episode. Like it was. I don't know if it was the direct last episode, but the whole Norm, like the Full House ripoff, Norm has a family. That's my favorite episode of the whole fucking series so far. Like you're not topping that for me. But like I still liked it because it still had a lot of stuff that they're gonna build on. It answered a lot of questions. It brought up a lot more questions, and it didn't feel the need to only focus on the sitcom. It did a mix of everything because we know what's going on, so we're just getting little tidbits that eventually will be fleshed out. Like I'll find myself pausing the episode, looking at Line's dialogue, and just fucking going back. So I definitely give this a 3.5 out of 5. This is way above average. This is a really good episode. Has a lot of moments that I fucking loved. So it's like this was definitely worth the watch.
And for me, I mean, granted, this is not a very hefty importance on my particular value of the episode because I didn't watch a lot of it. But what I saw, because every other episode, even the bad ones, I couldn't like get away from the computer. I had to watch it. Like even if I was hating it, I just had to sit there because it continued on making me interested. This one did not do that for me. I was able to kind of like not watch pretty much all of it. So for me, I give this a 2.5 out of 5. For me, it's very, very average. It's the most average episode of all of them, which, by the way, is actually a good thing considering how much I hate the first 2 episodes. So it's not the worst episode, but I was like, eh. But now let's get into WandaVision episode fucking 7. And I'm going to start this off surprisingly with Jet because the thing is I was actually at her house, hanging out with her and her family. It was really, really cool. We just fucking went out and ate at this place. It was fucking
totally like Get Out.
Yeah, but it was super, super cool. And we're all watching it, and her mom's really into it too, so we're like excited, like, oh fuck, here we go, like we're gonna watch WandaVision, it's gonna be awesome. And I don't know, Jet, I don't know if you were like looking at your phone or being like, but like, were you feeling this? Because I feel like you were not at all.
I mean, I like the song.
Well, that's the thing. Every episode has a different song. So you like basically the Office version of the intro.
No, the ending song.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
By the way, this is less The Office and more Modern Family.
Yeah, that's the kind I felt too. But looking at this, man, I gotta tell you, this meandered and fucking meandered.
Okay.
Darcy being in that world now and her still acting like herself and being her constant fucking like, I'm just too cool for school fucking thing. I didn't like it back in episode 4. I'm fucking sick of that shit now. I really cannot stand it.
Me near The Office. I actually really enjoyed this episode. Like this to me is way better than last week's because like you see, it meanders, but what I liked about it is it's doing the thing where it's like Wanda's trying her hardest to fix this world up to control it under her whims, and you can see that she's slowly losing control. Like things are falling apart, she can't control anymore. But what I loved is Vision. Like, honestly, I've never liked Kat Dennings in this. I don't think Kat Dennings. I think she's a decent actress. I think she is not funny at all. But one of the things that I do like about the show is they understand the details that they do, and nothing in the show is random. Everything in the show is very what's the word I'm looking for? Very deliberate. To the extent where, and this was something that I just noticed just because I was noticing this. But when she gets, sent into this world, do you know what she becomes? Like what character she becomes?
No.
She becomes an escape artist. Do you know why? Do you know why they made her an escape artist?
No.
She is locked to the car with handcuffs. So it basically, when you get sent to that world, it manipulates kind of what's already going on. So she's locked there. She becomes an escape artist because she's also tied up with fucking like a lock, and he easily gets out of it because it's like, hey, what were you doing the moment you stepped in?
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And I was like, that is such a small detail that nobody cares about. But I'm like, wow, that was really interesting. So like, what's everyone else? Why are they all clowns? Because they're all running around like the chickens with their heads cut off, like a fucking circus going on out there as they're trying to wait for safety. So they all turn to clowns and shit. And I'm like, wow, that's just a random thing that goes nowhere. But I really found it interesting because it's like she's having to push herself so much more that you're starting to see a lot of this stuff happening and what kind of the rules to this world are. But one thing that I enjoyed is like, yeah, you're doing the whole Modern Family, Office, Parks and Rec situation where Vision's talking. It's like, yes, legs crossed. So this is how I feel. And I'm like, kind of like, yo, man, we know you can kind of do this. And eventually halfway through the episode, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? I can fly. And I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense because it could call back to my favorite episode where he goes, hey, you can't control me the way you do. The way you control the others. He didn't say you can't control me. She makes him forget consistently, where she's able to kind of rewind the world to be like, oh yeah, I forgot the last 5 minutes and keep him in this illusion. So when he's doing the conversations and talking up to Darcy and doing all that stuff and forgetting his powers, is because Wanda's ability to do so is still influencing him, but it takes some effort to break out. So after like the fucking third distraction, he just flies the fuck off because like, okay, I know what's going on. That's what I love about the show, where it's like they're doing all this bullshit, but it all connects. Like it all leads somewhere. It's all deliberate. Where it's like somebody is planning this episode out like they're playing a game of chess.
Yeah, and I like that, and I like that everything has connective tissue, which is the most important part about making any kind of series or whatever. But like, I feel like even if I was like, okay, I get it, like this, like the clown thing was like way too much. Like, hey, where you going? To get in the car, get in the van, then, and then like a bunch of silly hijink shit to the point where I don't know if it was even in the show or not. But in my head, I was like thinking of like Desperate Housewives soundtrack, like.
That might be the next one, man. There might be 24 for the next fucking episode. Dude, could you imagine the next episode's just 24?
Yeah, like it's just fucking.
I would love that. It's real time, so it's 20 minutes.
But it's just, I don't know, man. Like that was really bothering me. But like, Jed, I'm gonna ask you, like, aside from just the hijinks episode of, or the aspect of like Vision being a clown, whatever, which definitely let me know what you feel about that. But more so, did you feel like any different about the, what was her name? Wanda. Do you feel any different about her because you didn't really like her too much, as far as the Avengers movies go?
I mean, I still don't like her now. Literally watching this episode, it's just like she's just the most uninteresting part. Still,
was it still hard to follow? 'Cause you didn't. Well, you didn't watch the other 6 episodes, but you still kind of knew what was going on, though, right? Like, I'm pretty sure you're kind of aware of, the storyline and stuff, right?
I mean, it was pretty easy to piece together what was going on.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But like, did you feel like this meandered, or do you think that maybe I was just kind of being a grumpy, impatient motherfucker that I am?
Well, I mean, I'd give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, it was basically like what they're doing, like the type of sitcom that's in like 2010s or whatever. They usually meander to talk to the camera and stuff like that. So maybe that was intentional.
Yeah, it probably was. I mean, like, granted, they're really trying to like. Because they know this can be talked about. They know people are going to be like, oh, just like The Office, I love this shit. Oh, I remember back in the day when I watched this. Like, they know what they're doing in that sense. But I feel like the last 2 episodes, and maybe, like this, I know you didn't watch these last 2, but the Malcolm Middle thing and then the one from, like, episode 5, they even, they still had that concept of, like, being like one of those sitcoms or one of those shows, but didn't, like, it wasn't, like, the main layer of priority as far as, like, what they're going for and how they're shooting it. Where here, it's like, no, it was in the fucking way.
I don't think it was. Because, the funny thing is, I was about to disagree with you. You said it's in the way. It is in the way. Because Wanda's trying to stop this. She's trying to keep this world together. So a lot of times, because again, there's a bunch of stuff with there with the whole Vision, like, what the fuck am I doing in this interview? And flies the fuck off. But then also when she's talking to the camera going, hey, I'm trying to control this world. I just want to be happy, yada, yada. Why is all this happening to me? And the interviewer goes, maybe you deserve this. Maybe this is punishment. She goes, what the fuck? You're not supposed to talk. Like, you're right, it's in the way, but it's not in a way to pad the show out because we're out of shit. It's a way to be like, hey, she's literally putting obstacles in the way because she's trying to delay the inevitable. And I really enjoyed that. It's like, to me, this had the least amount to do than the other stuff. Like, the other episodes before was way more like, hey, we got to get the sitcom stuff in here. This was like, I could see that it was literally like, literally putting fucking ice patches to slip the momentum. Because it's like, hey, Wanda knows she can't keep this up forever, so she's trying her best to keep it up as long as humanly possible. Especially with the way this episode ends, it's like, yeah, she knows her time is limited, so it's like, let me just try to get as much happiness as I can out of this, because she knows her life's over. She knows she might not make it out of this.
Yeah. Now let's talk about that big spoiler at the end. Now, man, Agatha, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Agatha. So I knew something was up with her, but I thought she was gonna be like a friend. and maybe somebody that she's connected with is like a big villain. Didn't think it was gonna be her, man. And I gotta tell you, the way they reveal that in the last not minute, dude, the last 45, maybe even less than 45 fucking seconds. Boy, did I fucking hate the way they revealed that. But what'd you feel?
I loved it because I remember talking about this for like the first couple episodes, and I'm like, there's something up with Agnes because she's broken the fourth wall multiple times. Where she walks in right before, right after the kids going, she's like scared of Wanda, like, hey, did I do that properly? Did I act properly? Or there's a couple times where it's like she doesn't notice the crazy shit's going on, or she doesn't care. But I'm like, there's something up with Agnes. What's going on? Because there's that conversation in like the third episode before she sends out, Rambo, where Agnes is having a conversation with the other neighbor, and it's like she's not from around here. I'm like, why are you breaking character? What is going on? And I'm just like, I'm noticing this, and I'm like, look, I'm not a huge fan of the theme song. I'm not. Just to me, it was too remnant of the episodes that I hated. But the fact that she's behind something. I don't know what she's behind, but she is involved in this. I was like, okay, I knew it. I called it, and I was so happy to be right that I was like, this is great, and I killed that dog. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Disney, how did you allow this to happen? Holy fuck.
But it just feels like, wow, so, Wanda is that under some spell that she can't see any of this? And it's like, it's fucking ridiculous.
I don't think she's not under the spell. She's not under Agnes' spell. So Agnes is behind it all along is kind of a misnomer to what's actually going on. Because, like, she's not controlling Wanda. She's controlling Wanda at the end of the episode because she does the whole magic. But what it is that she is helping keep Wanda in the illusion by keeping her happy. That's why she sends her brother in. That's why she did that thing at the fucking episode 2 at the magic show. That's why she's like doing the whole killing the dog. I don't know why she killed the dog. I think she's just fucking nuts. But she's trying to keep her in there for some reason, which again is going to go into my other theory because I theorized 3-4 episodes ago that Wanda is being controlled or working with somebody else to keep this illusion going on. Agnes, Agnes Harkness shows up, but I don't think that she's the main villain. I think that she's the mini boss. She's supposed to get everyone thinking she's the main villain. I think there's something even more sinister because Agnes doesn't seem like a person that would orchestrate all this. She got caught in it by accident. That's why the first episode, she's normal. But then
so you think she's part of the community that was taken over by Wanda's fucking crazy vision shit?
Yeah. Basically, imagine that you're just the regular powered witch. You're just in this town hiding out. Suddenly, you're just caught in this illusion. She just got there by accident. It just happened to be this one area. And she probably was under control for like the first 2 episodes. But then she eventually was able to break out because she's extremely powerful and realized, okay, something really bad happened. She's responsible, but I need to stay in character because she might kill me. Like, this is a bad situation. My guess is Agnes was had some deal with the devil or something where she couldn't escape, but now she can use Wanda as a tool to get herself out. So I think that's what's going to happen next couple episodes where Agnes is like, hey, she doesn't need to fucking say anything. I control you. Now figure something out to get me out of whatever party I'm stuck in. And I was like, yo, this is fucking amazing. I can't wait till next week.
Yeah, because, this is actually a pretty cool thing, but I feel like it shouldn't have been a thing for fucking next week. I could have sworn that this was actually an hour-long episode, and that's where, I sat there with Jet's family. We're all chilling, and we're like, oh, shit. Like, I literally hear Mom was like, oh, my God. And then literally she's like, hey. Like, and it had, like, that little, like, we'll return soon, or whatever the fuck that whole thing is.
Yeah.
And as comes on, and literally, I remember just like the room, like even Jet's brother, whose name's Nick, was fucking funny enough, but he's just like, nah. And then Jet's mom's like, huh? And she's like, oh.
Look, would I wanted more? Of course I would have wanted more, but I'm just like, I like that the show still has revelations to drop because like you think like they'd be out of it, but like there's so much going behind the scenes that there's like 2 more episodes, so it's like.
But if you literally show shit, you're definitely gonna have a lot to show. Because you're holding back all your tools, you're holding back all your weapons. Like
they're not holding it back; they're deliberately leaving it. They're deliberately leaving breadcrumbs. So it's like there's 2 episodes left. We're on episode 7. My guess is the next episode is going to be like I don't know how long it's going to be because they said an hour, but they didn't. Whatever the fuck. Episode 7 is going to be we're going to reveal everything that we need to reveal to set up for a big confrontation in the last episode. Because we need a confrontation, we need to reset the universe. We need to get everything back to a point where this the rest of the world doesn't have a giant fucking hex in the middle of everywhere. We got to solve this problem. But in order to do that, we just set it up. So I think there's going to be another shoe drop in the next episode. And it's going to be it's going to be fucking nuts. We're going to get a full explanation of everything that's going on to lead into episode 8 where we have a confrontation.
Or episode 9, you mean. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Episode 8 is going to be the setup. Episode 9 is going to be the confrontation, where we don't. Hey, is Wanda going to be on the good side or the bad side? What's going to happen?
Now, here's my thing, and this is where it comes in a situation where I hope I don't piss anybody off or whatever, because we're not critics, but we are critiquing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for me, that adds a certain amount of cynicism that I don't like. So what I do is when I watch these things, I put kayfabe in. I pretend I'm stupid, and I'm just like, I'm gonna watch this as a thing. I'm not gonna think about what they're planning for. I'm not gonna think about the business aspect. I'm just like, was this thing on the TV good? And sometimes it's hard to do that because I know too much. So what I actually like to do too is when I watch it around with other people. I mean, I usually use my mom for an example. We went to see Avengers Endgame, and you would think with all the boom, all that shit, and she's kind of stupid when it comes to entertainment. She can cry when just a piano chime comes in, right? She fucking hates Endgame. And I'm like, okay, now I know I'm not just being a grumpy ass Nick Diaz, because this is all new to her. She should be fucking wowed. And she's like, that shit looks silly. So when I'm watching this with Jet's family, people that are actually into WandaVision, and I'm like, I don't like this, but maybe it's just me because maybe I'm grumpy or I'm just Nick Diaz. I'm looking around the room and everyone was like, man, really? We could have watched fucking anything else. Really? And I'm like, yeah, I know it's not me. There's people all over this fucking world who watch this episode that don't know shit about WandaVision or Marvel or what's going to happen next or whatever. They don't care enough about that. They just want to watch a good show, and they were let down like I was. I got to tell you, except for the first 2 episodes, this was the worst one. How quick they did that reveal and how quick the show just ends right after that. It's like, and they kill a dog. Prompt credits. It's like,
I still can't believe they got away with that, because I'm just like, oh, you're behind it all. That's cool. You killed that dog. Holy! I still don't know how they got away with that, because it's supposed to be kind of like a PG-13ish show. But I'm like, you killed a dog and start laughing. I'm like, that is so dark.
But then you got Cruella, and so it's like they do this show all the time too. It's like, oh, and by the way, there's another thing, and I'm using lots of wrestling terms. I know Trig, you probably fucking are aware of most of these. Some people are not, but cheap heat is something where a bad heel does. Where like in wrestling, if a guy goes, I'm gonna get people to hate me, whatever, because I'm doing all this villainous shit, and you actually hate him, it works. And when people boo him, it means it's working. You're doing a good job. But if I come to you and I spit in your face, of course you're gonna hate me. That's lazy. If I say some racist shit, that's lazy. Okay. That's why. I
don't think that's like I get it that it's immediately like, hey, how is this person evil to kill the dog? But like,
a lot of can kill the fucking dog. That's literally that's the most simplest basic thing.
Yeah, but at the end of it, I think another thing says you just randomly looked at the dog and killed it. It's like, again, it calls back to a prior episode where it's like that dog, it's a very somber scene. She did it to push Wanda. She did it to fuck with Wanda. She did it to basically like, hey, I'm willing to do this to get what I want. So it's like, is it cheap? Sure. You know what? I'll even agree with you halfway through, but it's like, I didn't expect it. I thought the dog died. Again, I also didn't expect the dog to die randomly in the show. It seemed really lighthearted for that really dark scene to happen. But the fact that it's like, hey, this was actually deliberate, it's like, yeah, you clearly aren't afraid to push boundaries. But again, it's a callback to a prior episode. It's trying to show that this character has been around. Because the trope that I hate the most in media and anything is it was me all along, but you really didn't do anything. You just said it because it sounds cooler that it was some guy behind. But then you look back at the prior episodes, and there's so much things that in there. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. It makes sense as you. One thing in particular, she's a witch. Do you remember what her Halloween costume was in episode 6?
Oh, yeah, witch.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I look back, I'm like, oh fuck, they just did, like, it's Halloween, no one's gonna think twice. Holy shit, she was dressed as a witch. I was like, staring you right in the face. And that's where I say, M. Night Shyamalan, watch this fucking show. Learn how to do twists.
No, because this is not good twist.
Yes,
M. Night Shyamalan shit's all over this twist.
His twists are fucking terrible. Most of them suck.
Because like my biggest thing too is like also
you can go back and watch this show. You go back and watch this show, and her being the villain or whatever villain level she is does not change the fucking show. You could even enjoy it more. M. Night Shyamalan's twist ruined the fucking movie.
Oh bullshit! Sixth Sense is like you're so wrong.
Sixth Sense ruins. You know the twist and ruins the movie.
No, you're wrong. But it's okay.
No, everyone says that.
No, literally everyone says the exact opposite. So I feel like you just read that.
No, I think you're just saying that because you like that fucking movie.
I like that movie, but like I'm saying, like he's known for his twist. So like that's
he's known for his twist, and his twists tend to ruin the look. The Village twist is so unbelievably stupid. It ruins the entire movie. The Happenings twist is so bad they just reveal it halfway through the fucking movie.
That's one too, but you know, there's movies that's not that good.
Unbreakable's twist. What the fuck was Unbreakable's twist?
Okay, Unbreakable's twist. Okay. No, Unbreakable's is that he's a superhero. People like that one. And then another thing too, The Visit was a great.
What was it? It was fucking Sam Jackson's character was behind it all. Oh my fucking god.
And by the way, Lady in the Water, that made me cry. It was so good. No, I'm just playing.
I didn't even fucking watch Lady in the Water. I was like, this man is another bad movie. I'm
like, nice, Jesus. But anyways, no. As we look at this, girl, me mugging the camera and saying, "Huh, do you get it? I'm the villain." I'm gonna ask Jet really quick. By this episode, do you feel like you have been kind of like won over? Are you gonna watch episode 8? Are you like, nope, I'm good?
I'm good.
Why is that, by the way? Like, what didn't win you over? Like, was there something in there that's like, okay, like what's your reasoning?
I just don't feel like watching.
Okay, makes sense. What would you rate this episode, Jet?
I mean, out of what?
5.
Yeah, it's I'll be generous. It's a 3 out of 5.
I'm very surprised. For me,
like I said, I enjoyed Jingle, so that ending was pretty nice.
For me, it's gonna be a 2 out of 5. I think it's a little bit below average. I hate it. Like, it was like a 0 and a 1 out of 5 for the first 2 episodes. This is not that bad, but I gotta tell you, man. For it meandering, and I think the reveal is good. I think that, you know, that surprised me. I believe it or not, wasn't expecting that. I'm kind of silly when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, man, world building or not, man, you don't waste my time like that and then have the reveal be so fucking quick that I feel like I'm watching an anime with 50 episodes and it's like, oh, you gotta come back next week over and over and over again for the rest of your life. Fuck you. No, I'm not doing it. You're not that good, show. Okay, stop sniffing your farts. Alan, how about you, sir? What'd you rate?
Oh, it's easily 3.5. Easily. I was like, looking at the episode, I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that I like. There's a lot of reveals that's going on. Again, there's things that it's like I expected something to go on, but it's like, again, you did the whole again, you will always impress me if you take a trope I fucking hate, but then make it work. Because yes, Agatha behind it all along. To what degree we don't know, but it makes a lot of sense. It explains a lot of the inconsistencies with that character in this world. So I appreciate that they managed to do the whole "it was me all along," because I swear to God, I can name like 50 fucking things right there where it's completely stupid. One of which, The Spectre, is a terrible fucking movie. The terrible it was behind me the whole along. No, it wasn't. We literally know you didn't get the rights to the last movie. Fuck you. But, yeah, I liked the jingle. I didn't like, but I liked the rest of the episode. I like what was going on. I liked the use of the actual sitcom this time. Mostly because I like the whole characters talking to the camera. I'm watching Parks and Rec right now, so that's kind of like, hey, this show that you love, you're watching right now, let's literally imitate it. I can't wait for them to do 24. I really hope they do 24. But at the end of it, I had a good time with it. There were things I didn't like, but it was outweighed by the things that I loved.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we'll see what happens with next week. It's going to be a 1-hour episode, I'm pretty sure. If not, I'm wrong, and fucking A, it is what it is. The mid credit scene was some bullshit. I did not like that mid credit scene.
It didn't mean anything to me. Oh, she looked at a door and Pietro showed up. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was really, really irritated by that too. It's like, damn, you guys can't handle even like not putting mid credit scenes on the show.
JP, this is probably more for you than me. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
It was me all along, Austin. Yeah, I hated
it. All along. He did it. He controlled Wanda. He's Mephisto.
Yeah, that shit was so fucking annoying. But thank you, though, JP. That's funny as fuck. But here's the thing, though, guys. We were going to talk about Legend of Zelda, but granted, it did turn 35 yesterday, so we're going to save the talk for tomorrow because it's not just talking about the anniversary, by the way. There's some things about this whole situation, by the way, Alan, that you're going to find pretty interesting, so we'll talk about that tomorrow, as well as some more video game talk. Nintendo Direct happened. We're going to be talking about that as well.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, y'all got to see me get mad. Like, really mad. Like, I'm at the end of Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, man. So lots of stuff, too. Lots of video game stuff. It's going to be fun. Call of Duty as well. By the way, speaking of that, too, we're going to have to come back on the 25th and play the new Outbreak mode. So definitely, guys, if you want to get involved in that, make sure to download the shit so we can play together on Friday or whatever. But, Alan, why don't you tell people where to find you in the meantime with that boy got to groove? Just talking about the Illuminati and whatnot because we got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but basically follow me on Facebook. You'll see multiple links to the Metropolis Collective. And yes, Blasian, I know you mentioned earlier, we ran into some technical issues with Mr. got a PS5. Congratulations. We ran into some technical issues getting the episodes, the audio versions of them, so we apologize for that. We're trying to work on it the next couple of days. Just some stuff happened with things not refreshing properly. But we have all the episodes there, including the newest podcast and the sports pod, so be sure to check all that stuff out. Drop a like.
Nice, man. But with that said, guys, we're getting the fuck out of here. You can hear that music. Thank you for staying with us so long. There's still people in the chat over here. I'm actually surprised. So go enjoy your double toasted. They're very toasty and all that good stuff. We're going to rate Juicy Herman. Thank you. Bye. And